Yeah, they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate.
Yeah.
They hate when you elevate.
Peace.
I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself. Yeah.
Good, bro.
Salute, AK Crowder here from Boxing, Greenville and Mike. Salute, Salute, man.
Salute to everybody, bro. As they gather in the room. You know what I mean?
Greenville and Sonoma, man. Motion. Yeah. Body, yo.
That's what's up. Set them straight.
They hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate.
Yo, what up, room?
What
Hey,
up?
Greenville, it's a Perdomo. It's a Perdomo. I really just started puffing on these cigars of Perdomas. I usually rock with the Hutmans, I'll be honest with you. But yo, these Perdomas might be my new real smooth cigar, man. Real good cigar. Man, shout out to the chat, yo. Shout out to everybody in the building. Salute, Ray. Yo, I love that intro song. Yeah, it holds some good meaning to me, man, because people really plot on your downfall. And you have to adapt and overcome, man, and you gotta overstand the situation. If you understand, shout out to Champ Sign. Type I understand.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Boxing is good. Boxing is moving. We got an event coming up this weekend. Long anticipated, right? To get some questions answered, some boxes checked. And we're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna talk about what it's gonna look like the next day too. Like, what does it look like the next day? We understand that Shakur is, this is a big fight for Shakur. Will Bigelow, salute. It's a big fight for Shakur, being the last fight that he has on that Top Rank contract. I know everybody, including myself, is super interested in what he's going to be what moves he's going to be looking to make. Is he going to Matchroom? Is he going to stay with Top Rank? Is he going to end up over somewhere weird like Golden Boy to PBC, somewhere where we don't see expecting somewhere we're not expecting him to go? We're going to talk about that. Of course, we got the young bull Abdullah Mason also, who's going to be showing out again and trying to work his way out of that prospect category and get himself back into the get himself into the contender category, right? A lot of people feel like Abdullah's ready now. A lot of people feel like he's ready now to face top 10 contenders. And we're going to talk about that as well, because I agree. I think he is, but we're also going to talk about as to whether or not that's a smart move for him to make right now. Is it better to build his brand up the way he's doing it? He has his peers, as in Emiliano Vargas and Floyd Schofield, and the people kind of coming up in the same class as him. And you see that they're pushing Floyd Schofield, aggressively. They got him. They want to get him in title fights with Shakur, And then you got Abdullah Mason, who has a whole different trajectory, and they're being way more patient with him. And Emiliano Vargas is also kind of getting a bit of a push as well. But he has that great guidance from his father. We're going to talk about all those things. Definitely got to discuss what O'Shaquie Foster is going to look like after this fight. The last fight O'Shaquie Foster had, there were rumors of, actually for the last two fights, there have been rumors about him struggling a little bit with that 130-pound weight class division as far as making that weight, whether it's personal discipline, nutrition issues, or whether or not it's just his body changing, and maybe it's time for him to make that move. With that in the back of his mind, you could ask yourself how that might affect this fight. We could talk about that. Going up against a Robson Consequia, who's any given Sunday, right? This guy's Olympian, great shape. He's just a good boxer. He's just a good boxer, right? He is the kind of boxer to deliver an upset. About that, he's that kind of boxer, right? So we'll talk about that as well. Edgar Berlanga and Canelo seem to be getting a lot of people wondering who Canelo is going to be facing next. I heard there were negotiations going on in the background for Edgar Berlanga and Canelo, as well as Canelo's mandatory IBF mandatory, as to whether or not Canelo is going to be willing to go ahead and vacate that IBF belt. To jump into bigger payday fights, right?
Right.
We're going to be talking. Yeah, the Monte Cristos is good too. The Monte Cristos is good. I like the Monte Cristos, Greenville. I'm not going to lie to you. But those Perdomos, yeah, man. I like that. I like the Perdomas, man. I ain't going to lie. Oh, RIP to your uncle, man, for sure, man. RIP to him, man. I hope it wasn't a surprise. Are you sending me a message, Greenville? I need to chill off these cigars.
Rest in peace, bro.
I don't want to make jokes, Greenville, and rest in peace to your uncle. T. Orlando in the building. Salute, brother. T. Orlando. We got we got a lawyer in the building to help us get through, processing and getting through all the legal aspects of this game. I always appreciate T. Orlando's presence in the chat. Shout out to T. Orlando in the building. Eastside Easy, what's good with you, family? What's good? We're going to talk business. We're going to talk boxing business on this channel. And then we got to celebrate Gervonta a little bit. I think the space is kind of taking it. It is what it is, right? We're to a point right now. I tell you, me coming into this space, I've grown to understand and grow with the space and to understand how the fans work and the tribalism in the space and how that works. So, people are going to take this opportunity to, what I had to learn. I really had to learn to keep the debates and the confrontations with the fans and try my best not to take away from the fighter, because the fighters don't deserve, Gervonta doesn't deserve to be knocked, but sometimes those lines kind of get, sometimes the lines get a little blurred when you're sitting here battling and debating on certain topics. It gets a little blurred, but yeah, you already know, T. Orlando, Yeah, Eastside Easy. We are 18 from that 1,000 subscriber mark. Man, I'm kind of getting excited about it. Getting ready to do this giveaway, man. I'm excited to do that as well. Yeah, man, all types of things on the horizon, man. The channel's moving well, and taking all consideration, and got a lot of loyal people that show up to these live streams we do, and we appreciate you guys, man. We truly do, man. We're going to show that appreciation too. Believe that. So. Ray Davis in the building. Salute to my co-host in the building. How are you feeling today? First of all, how's your day been going?
Day's been great. Let me tell you something. It's been nothing but pleasurable in my life, in my day, and I don't mean that in a negative way, fellas. Pause. You know what I mean? But Had a great day at work. Great day on the job. Got some rest. And here to talk this boxing. Love the topics that we're about to talk about. Enjoying the fans that come in here every day. The members of the channel. Much respect to the subscribers. We appreciate it. All that's joyful, man. Happy to be blessed. Have my family with me all the time, supporting me. All these things are meaningful. So, it's just a nice, relaxing day. So I feel good, bro. You know what I mean?
No doubt. As you should. Chris Esperon, you said, do yous think it's possibility? I don't know if you want to elaborate on that. We can kind of speak on that, speak directly to what you're saying. Well, hold on. Let me go back. Let me see here. Don't know why, but I feel he's going to end up with GTD. What? Okay. That's interesting. I see what you're saying, Chris. I don't know, man. Yeah, look, that would definitely be a room shaker. You know what I mean? So if see Shakur Stevenson end up over there at GTD, man,
that'd be some weird. He must have some inside information.
Right, that would be deep. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. On the surface level, I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. But weirder things have happened. We're in a crazy time. 2024 has been a crazy year as already. So that would just add, and kind of go with the whole entire mantra of the year. You know what I mean? Right. If anything can happen, it will happen, right? How do you donate to the channel? I got my Cash App, but soon we'll be monetized, right? But let me post up the There's the Cash App right there. If you read down there in the scroll, there's also a PayPal if you want to help donate to the channel. You know what I mean? That's much appreciated. Whatever you feel like donating. Sean in the building. Salute to my guy Sean, man.
Sean.
You know, one of the favorites, man. Always got so much to contribute to the conversation, to the pugilist conversation. Always has so much to contribute, man. Invaluable. Don't want Sean to go nowhere. If I don't see Sean for a couple of weeks, I start to worry and hope that he's healthy and nothing happened. You know what I mean? I think about you like that, Sean. I'm like, yeah, I hope he's good, man. I ain't hear from him. You know what I mean? So salute to Sean. Sean says he'll stay at Top Rank. That's very possible. That's very, very possible. He has the relationship clearly already. Top Rank knows him. You know what I mean? And there's fights now that are there on the table to be made that maybe weren't there before, right? With Gervonta seeming to be on board, right? With the fight being made now, and ready to make it happen. Bob Arum might have a whole new different perspective on how he's looking at the situation. Lomachenko's always going to be there, obviously, and maybe Bob Arum has some plans in there. Maybe he's able to convince and meet up with Shakur Stevenson and his team and come to a commonality, a good space where maybe Shakur give him a couple more fights. Let's see here. No doubt, Sean, for sure. Here for boxing, or he'll sign with Floyd, and together they will harass Tank into a fight.
That's what I'm thinking.
Listen, man. With it. On the low, I think Shakur Stevens really he's like on the fence of just the right move, the right fight, the right announcement could send this boy viral, right? Like it could just send him viral. Like he's there, like talent-wise. A lot of people have a lot of ideas of where Shakur should be right now, right? And it's reasonable to argue that Shakur made a mistake when he didn't fight Devin, when he didn't take that opportunity to fight Devin for that undisputed, and that might have set him back in a couple of steps, How would it look today if he would have took that fight with Devin? Win, lose, or draw, where would Shakur be today? Where would he be today if he would have had if that fight with Frank Martin would have went through, if he was able to coordinate that and he did have that fight? Shakur is one big fight away from becoming household boxing, must-see boxing status. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is Shakur Stevens doing? You know what I mean? Good-looking young man, pause, you know what I mean? Great boxing skills. He's marketable in a lot of ways. He's boring in his own way, like that fight with De Los Santos. But at the same time, Shakur has a lot of potential there. So, like I said, one crazy announcement, one intensely impressive performance, one of those things away from taking him to the next level, right? We're going to talk a lot about that on this show today. We're going to talk a lot about that. Let's see. Shakur somewhere in the hotel with his shirt off on his knee, singing Jodeci to another dude. Come on,
that must be T. Orlando. Before you even said it, I'm surprised when you say skinny jeans.
He wasn't singing to another dude. He was singing to all the lovely ladies that was watching the stream. You know what I'm saying? He was serenading the ladies in the stream, bro. He wasn't talking to Edgar Berlanga. Come on, man. Don't put that jacket on, T. Orlando. Let's see here. It says, isn't Shakur's wife signed to Jay Prince's label? Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. I never thought about it because I know she's out of Texas and she raps. I haven't even thought about her being a rapper. You know what I'm saying? If that's true, that makes it even harder for him to leave. 100%, Sean. I didn't even take that into consideration, man. I did not take it into consideration. Green Villain says Jay Prince are not going to let Floyd get over on Shakur, and Floyd know it. Yeah, 100%. 100%. He probably got to have two performances to get that track runner jacket off his back. Yeah, Green Villain. Yo, salute to Rodzilla in the building. Salute Texas 16 South too. Salute King. Yeah, man, one or two performances. I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, man, Shakur's just on the verge of doing something great, man. I just believe that he is. He's on the verge of getting himself, and there's room for him to do it, right? Disappointing performance from Teofimo Lopez. Devin Haney we saw what just happened with Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and his performance. The timing, the stars are aligning. If Shakur can fill in the spots, you know what I'm saying? if he can fill in the blank spots and check the boxes and he just one good performance in my opinion, one or two. Much respect to Green Villain, one or two performances away from taking off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Come on to Orlando, man. Sean, because Jay Prince is real big in loyalty, 100%. And Jay Prince is also knows how to treat the people that are loyal to him too. So Shakur really has no reason, in my opinion, to be looking to get away from Jay Prince. Whatever he's got planned, I'd like to think that Jay Prince is involved in the plan.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Coming together. So we'll see what's going on.
And I can see Jay Prince putting his differences aside to work with Floyd. I mean, if the money looks right, Floyd just came off a lot of money. I mean, he already got money, but you know what I mean. He wants to get back into this boxing thing and promote it. So he may make some sacrifices and see how that goes. But
right,
we'll see.
I mean, look, Floyd just made a power move by bringing Richard Schaefer.
All right, T. Orlando. Enough is enough, bro.
Leave that man's fiance, by the way, alone. Mother up to his children alone, brother. You know what I'm saying? Mother to his children, fiance. You know what I'm saying? Whatever in the past may or may not have happened, it has nothing to do with his present situation. You know what I'm saying?
Boxing.
Let's let love prevail, bro, and let him be in love.
It has nothing to do with boxing, period.
Hopefully she's in the same space as him. She's in love and she's changed. Shakur, I'm sure his past isn't all rosy. Let's let them live, man. He said, I just asked a question. I hear you, Orlando. I hear you, man.
Listen, that's a young man sport, bro. I don't do the rap game anymore.
Yeah. Let's see here. I just asked a question. Talk about Floyd being scared of Chico. Chico who? I'm thinking Corrales when you say that.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, Diego?
He put hands on Diego last time I checked. Did. So
God rest his soul, man.
Yeah, man. All eyes on Shakur this weekend, man. His event. Maybe the Tank fight. The split probably is going to be somewhere around 75-25, and I think Shakur probably a little bit more motivated to take that split just because of what he missed with the Devin. You know what I mean? That time he kind of got himself out of the Devin deal. I'm sure he'll be a lot more, you know what I'm saying, open to receiving the idea of getting the biggest payday of his life. Because I'm sure the 75-25 split, it'll still be the biggest payday he ever had against Tank Davis. You know what I mean?
They're playing lightly today, bro. Said Paul on the get his hands on Diego thing. That was funny. All right, Black Truth, I got you.
No doubt. Oh, the chat always keeping us on point, always keeping us on code.
Yo, Truth, did you know they're coming out with a new dragon? Was it Demon Slayer, bro? Yeah, I got you. Let's talk about that for a minute. We'll get back to you.
Jay Prince boxing chapters in his book Respect when you get a chance, bro. Okay, no doubt. I've been meaning to actually get into that Jay Prince book, man. I never got into it, and I planned on doing it. It kind of just so many other books came out, like it just seemed like it just kind of got buried underneath all the literature that was out there to read. But I did want to take an opportunity to read that Jay Prince book. He's a brilliant man. Salute Bradley 68 in the building. Salute Track Boxing 68 in the building.
Yeah. And Track, I got your message, man. I responded to you. I didn't go back to Twitter. I had a long nap today, bro. I got some enjoyment out of my life, bro. Pause. Again, I don't want people thinking that, you know.
Yeah. You know, it's hard.
What happens in my house stays in my house at the end of the day.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Easy. Bong. Yeah, so where do we start, man? It's kind of, you know what I mean? It looks like everybody wants to get into the main event of the evening. You know what I'm saying? They want to get into the main event of the evening, which is Shakur versus Artem. Also, by the way, just to kind of put it out there, you know, the same night that Nate Diaz Masvidal card is going off, and I don't care about no Nate Diaz Masvidal, to be honest with you, but interesting news, Carmel Moulton, did you hear Carmel Moulton's actually been added to that card? So I thought that was interesting because we know about the bad relationship between Floyd and Tank, and it seems like it's going to be difficult for Floyd to negotiate and get Carmel back on these PBC cards. That's going to be interesting to see how they decide to move with that energy, because Nate Diaz and Masvidal card, which is a Masvidal owned promotion, I think a lot of people would say, you know, that's a downward move from Cameron Moulton from where he was before, even though he was doing he was kind of like opening up for the card, but still fighting at the end of the card when the cameras went off. Kind of weird, but yeah. Now you can never retire Rachel Bradley. Rachel the sis, man. She the queen of the space, man. Rachel just doing things with her husband and handling business. That's a busy lady who's getting a lot of money. You know what I mean? Working in this boxing space. So nah, you definitely didn't retire. I promise you. Carmel needs to leave Floyd, man. But right on the cusp of us talking about potentially a Shakur Stevenson coming over to Floyd. You know what I mean? Is he a sinking ship? I think it's reasonable to argue. I think that could be argued. Just looking at the amount of fighters he's lost in this year alone, the rumors that are going on out there, the indifferences he's had with his main supporter and Al Heyman, and you know the biggest fighter in the game, the face of boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis, and him going head up in that petty way isn't helping him at all. So yeah, you never know. You never know. Maybe Mayweather's ship is sinking. Maybe Mayweather is willing to cut a crazy bag for somebody like Shakur to help bring that ship where it needs to be, you know? Let's see here. Sean, keep them active like top-ranked fighters, but with better competition. 100%. Yeah, but you know, getting into it a little bit, we can start off with Shakur versus Artem. This is going to be I think this is going to be a great fight, and it's a great opportunity for Shakur Stevenson to really showcase his talent. You know, he should have two healthy hands, no excuses in this fight. I don't think if there was an excuse, anybody would accept an excuse. So if God was not on Shakur Stevenson's side and allowed that man to come into this fight with an injury that would mess with his performance, that'd be the worst luck in the world, because I can almost assure you that the space is very unforgiving at this point and is not trying to hear any excuses about why Shakur Stevenson would ever give a poor performance, right? So I think, you know, inshallah, he's 100% healthy. He's on his game. And if he is, I think a lot of people, I mean, should we be looking for Shakur Stevenson to get a stop in this fight? Is that what success would look like? Or just really just put it all out there and really just have a dominant performance, stoppage or no stoppage, Ray? What do you think?
Stoppage, yes. KO, no. Dominated performance, yes. Either of the two. If he gets KO, good, good for him. Stoppage, late rounds, I can see that happening. Dominating performance, can see that happening. I can see it equal. I can see him getting into a boxing match and really pulling out tools in his bag and see and letting him go from there. There's a lot of things that can happen. I wouldn't mind that. That wouldn't be a bad thing happening if he had to go in his tool bag and fight this dude.
Yeah. Let me see. All right, I got you. Frequent, I got you. Yeah, look, when Artem fought against Frank Martin, a lot of people felt like, I heard Showbiz kind of hint towards the direction of Artem like giving the fight away against Frank Martin. Like purposely, you know what I'm saying? Like throwing the fight away, being that a lot of people had him ahead. I don't know what the cards were for that fight. I don't know if you were familiar with what the cards were showing for that fight at that point, but a lot of people thought that Artem was going to win that fight if he didn't take that knee. If he didn't take that knee and give up, a lot of people felt like he would have followed through and won that fight. So it's either Artem threw the fight away, or maybe Artem showed that he don't really got the heart like that. Maybe his heart doesn't like that to be. What was that? That was like a last round stoppage, right? Like last round.
Yeah.
Right. So, a lot of people would look at it like it's reasonable to argue like, damn, bro, get up, play defense, stay on your feet, don't get knocked down, clinch that dude for the rest of that round, whatever you got to do to try to survive that round and potentially walk away with the biggest win that you've had in your whole career. And he chose to just let the referee get to that 10 count. It looked like he just took a knee from exhaustion. So does Artem have the heart? I think Artem is there. I'm not going to go with the throw away the fight story. or you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with that, maybe his heart is questionable. And that being said, Shakur Stevenson should be able to stop this guy. Should be able to put that relentless pressure on him that would cause him to quit. If not in the corner, have the referee jump in the middle of it. But I think it would be spectacular to see Shakur Stevenson knock him out, stop him, like put him down and make it to where he can't get up for that 10 count. I think that would do something insane. I think that's a potential viral moment for Shakur Stevenson if he was able to accomplish that. What do you think?
Yeah, you know how I see this fight going? The same way he for Robinson Kasefio. I see it going that way. I think he lands some good shots. He controls the fight. I think it does start off a little rough for him. I think Artem does know how to fight, so we'll see once Artem feels the power, because a lot of people sleep on that jab that Shakur has and that hook that comes in behind it.
Right.
Once he gets a couple of tastes of that medicine, I think he'll back off and Shakur move forward, and he'll start controlling that fight, and that will show that will separate the differences between him and Frank, even though it's not the same fight. No triangle theory here, but it will separate what Frank should have done. It'll also put Artem on the back foot, which he's a come forward fighter, and that will again change the dynamics of fight. What's up, Truth? Change the dynamics of fight.
Yes, Jose.
Yeah, that will definitely put a different perspective on it, and it may look. And Shakur wants to prove this, so I think he definitely got it, bro. So we'll have to see how that works.
Yeah, and I like what you just said. Putting him on that back foot would also, yeah, man, Shakur, and it looks like he's motivated to do it. When you see him doing interviews right now, when you see him talking, even on Twitter, he's always kind of like speaking in a space of, yeah, you guys doubted me. I'm gonna show you guys really who I am and really show what I've been working on. You guys are sleeping on me. And, those type of statements kind of get you excited because I got a lot of expectations of Shakur Stevenson. I happen to think that he's a great boxer. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time, I thought he was to a point right now. No, actually right now, I do think he's going to be the most competitive fight for Tank Davis. I was weighing it out between him and Teofimo, but Teofimo's last performance kind of, it threw a wrench in the idea of that. I really thought about it a lot. I've been thinking about it because yesterday I was like, after the show, I was just like, man, it was getting on Teo. Like they really wouldn't let Teo live at all. Like not even a chance, like any kind of adjustment. And what I walked away, me personally feeling is the one thing that Teo doesn't have that I feel like has always been an issue for Teo is the strategy. I've never seen him jump into the ring with strategy, with a game plan. And once again, when I start talking about things like this, I start pointing towards his trainer, his father, and saying that, ultimately in the big shows, when a fight with Devin Haney, a fight with Shakur Stevens, a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis, a fight with these big generational talent fighters like himself, he can't go into these fights without a strategy, bro. And he seems to be way too comfortable with, just kind of like doing his own thing. And the father like, yeah, keep doing your own thing. So, yeah, I'm going to put him out the conversation for a second right now as far as him being the best competition for Tank. I think Shakur is the best competition for Tank. He's the most balanced fighter. His pop isn't there, what I'm saying, like a lot of other fighters, but that IQ just goes such a long way. Yeah, man, I got a lot of expectations of Shakur Stevens. So I definitely want to see him do something great in this fight, man, without a doubt.
I second guess his pop, bro. He does have pop in his jab. I'm sorry. I have to defend Shakur in that sense because he is bloody people faces with that jab, bro. Like with like 1 or 2, 3 jabs, he's hurt people where they thought about coming in or not. So him moving off the back foot helps because he has the momentum, and I just don't see. I mean, I don't see him in a match with Tank, him being the best fighter for Tank, because I think Tank knows him very well, and Tank may have the opportunity of targeting that body because Tank cuts off the ring. Tank's dance partner has to be somebody that just has to refine every step, be able to engage, get out, engage, get out. We'll see how Loma does. I know Truth is happy right now, but we'll see how he does. I don't think Loma lasts. What I say, 4 rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Truth up here said you was cat, by the way. My bad.
Me?
We got Truth. Hold on. Black Truth. Let me not confuse Truth with Truth, because we got 2 truths in the building. My bad, Jose. So Black Truth said he was capping earlier, man. He be bugging. He just trying to get under your skin. Truth funny.
Sean says unrealistic, but Bozy Ennis or Bomac would each be a good coaching fit for T.O.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it happening, like you said, but I agree with you that they'd be great.
Bozy will be great for him because he has a lot of that. I ain't gonna say it. We'll leave it there because that was a huge pause moment, and I can see the chat right now going, "What?" Yeah, no, we're gonna leave it there.
Yeah, Shakur very talented, so we'll see what he does. Artem Arnatunian, whatever his name is.
Got it right. Yeah, there you go.
He brings that you know how I feel about those Eastern Europeans, bro. I just think those dudes, they're fundamentally sound. You know what I'm saying? They're up. You asked for her. You summoned her. Salute to the queen, Rachel Donet in the building. You know what I'm saying? Salute, Rach. Salute.
Sonny Augustine, what's up?
Yeah, Sonny, salute, man. Salute, man. Y'all appreciated the God blessing that you put in my in the chat earlier, man. I received that, man, and back at you, brother. That was much appreciated. Definitely gotta acknowledge you and salute you for that, Sonny Augustine.
Leaders in the building.
Ross Scott, hey, okay, that's what Rachel said. So yeah, man. It's gonna be a good boxing match. It's an opportunity, just like T.O. had an opportunity against Steve Claggett. I think Shakur Stevens has an opportunity in front of him in Artem, sharing that common fighter with Frank Martin. If there ever was questions that could be answered, a fight like that, and we don't do triangle theories here, but a fight like that, stopping him, dominating him, I think Shakur understands too the significance of that. Like, yo, Frank fought this dude and made this dude look like he was something that I don't think he is. I'm gonna have to show that there's levels to this game and really step it up for him. You know what I'm saying? Right. Step it up in a big way in this fight. So we'll see what goes on. Anything else you want to mention on that? You want to?
Not really. Yeah. You know what? I just want to see. I think this is the right dancing partner for Shakur, regardless of him being a fellow Olympian or whatever the case may be.
Right.
I think he does. Like I said early on, I do think he shows some roadblocks for Shakur until Shakur starts laying the jab and the hook on him. Once he hits him with that, I think that changes the fight, the output of the fight.
No doubt, man. I could definitely see it, man. So the day after this fight, Shakur Stevenson has a great fight, dominates, reestablishes his credibility in the space as far as 135 is concerned. Conversations of unification start coming up, opportunities like that, but he's a free agent that next day. Where do you stand right now is the best spot for Shakur Stevenson based on where he wants to be in the 135 division?
Carmen
salute, Carmen Serene. Salute.
It's a big play with Bray. What's good? I see him going back to top rank, and like I said, I think he minimizes his deal. He has to get on a 3-fight deal with them. Try to get that unification, force that hand with Tank, make it put it in words, put it in the contract, make him put it in the contract, Bob.
Right.
And whatever, you have to take a little bit less money to do so. That's what you do. Then we go to maybe moving to 140, depending on how that Tank fight comes out. Going up there, getting a WBC shot. That works too. If not, then he has to go to Eddie Hearn. That's his only other option. I don't see him really going with Floyd unless he really that vindictive on fighting Tank, and Floyd and Tank are not doing well in communications. I don't see that fight happening. I don't think Floyd entertains that. I mean, right. I'm sorry, the GTD side entertains that on their side. So where does that leave him? That leaves him Eddie Hearn, which he would love to make that fight. Oscar already made. He really didn't make the deal with Tank, so I don't see him going to Golden Boy. I don't see Frank Warren because he's overseas. You know what I mean? It's definitely. I mean, Thriller. Was it Triller? Whatever. What's his name? Dude down in Australia. What's his name? I mean, not Australia, but what's the other promoter name that's always in the ring on Top Rank? I can't think of his name.
Lou?
Yeah. Lou. He can go with Lou. I mean, that's something else. You know what I mean? It's still just be like a part-time fighter for Top Rank. Maybe just get some of them fights over there, staying on the network. But we'll have to see with Lou DiBella. So, I mean, I don't see him going to PBC at all.
Yeah, I don't see PBC either. I think PBC would be a very like wow. And you know, I think hindsight, if you were to go to the PBC, hindsight would say kind of makes sense. It would just show how serious he is about making that fight with Tank, and also to me, it would show that there've been conversations going on about how that fight was going to get put together. And the PBC had been speaking to him clearly in that case, if that was to happen. I don't see the PBC being it, but you know, PBC does well with the fighters they want to do well with, and I don't know if I don't want that to go over y'all heads, right? Like the stars, they put the energy into them, but everybody else does kind of get, you know, the inactivity is going to be something that Shakur has to potentially deal with if he goes over there. They don't seem to be doing well at keeping their fighters active, man, and you know, that's not the hate on the PBC. It's just if you're a fighter who's aiming for activity, if you're thinking about that, if that's on the forefront of your thought process about being active, I don't see PBC necessarily being the best option. You know, somebody like Eddie Hearns is focused on the activity, and you know, Bob Arum can also keep his fighters active as well. If he can get it contracted out, like you said, Ray, get it put out in the contract, the fights that are going to be guaranteed, the game plan can be put out there. You know, what's his name? My boy's name, Jaleel Hackett. You know what I'm saying? Really spoke on that before he made his final decision. And so did Jerron Boots Ennis. When he made his decision on why he went over to Eddie Hearn, it had a lot to do with that activity. Also, Eddie Hearn likes to give those partnership deals. He's comfortable with doing those kind of deals where he gives the fighters a lot of freedom. The big fighters, he gives them a lot of the freedoms, you know what I'm saying, that allow them to cross promote and go into other spaces and get the big fights they want. So, you know, there's got to be some perks and some attractiveness for an up and coming fighter like a Shakur Stevens, who a lot of people think he's on the verge of breaking into stardom. You know, getting an opportunity to be somewhat independent and having that freedom has to be attractive to him. So I think it's just as realistic that he goes to Matchroom, but also I think it's very realistic that he chooses just sit there with Top Rank, redo the deal, have it written out way better, way clearer for him, give him a clear understanding of where he's heading with that promotion company, and he could stay at Top Rank just as well, like that. Let me see. Rachel said, Claymore, can you bring up all the top fighters in 135 and 140, including fighters and who they're signed to? Can I bring it up? And who they're signed to? I don't know if there's a list that shows all that in one shot, but I mean, we could work on that. Definitely. I could definitely at least pull up the fighters, that's for sure. You know what I mean?
Check the
That's
chat.
damn sure.
Check the chat.
Oh, you put something in there?
Yeah, I think you can actually find out who they are assigned to, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I never used this before. I have seen it on this page, but I think it gives you a little bit of both. Problem is, they're not all on the same page, so because they're different weight classes.
Right.
But only other way to do it is you can go to boxing scene, you can pull them up, and then you can go to promoters and even in BoxRec, you can see it, but it's not going to be, you know what I mean, exclusively who they are. But this is actually the rankings of them in the divisions.
Right. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's open this up. All right. Now that's for the 140 division right here that you just sent to me, right?
The last one, the first one's 135. Well, not the first one. The first one's YouTube. The middle one is 135. Should be two of them.
Let's see. Okay, boom. Yep. All right, so let's look at 135 real quick, eh? Let's pull that up. All right, here's your list, Rachel. Let's check it out. I mean, obviously you got Tank Davis, who's with BBC. You got Shakur, who's over at Top Rank, right? So we got them out the way. You got Vasily, he's Top Rank. You got William Zepeda. I believe William is Matchroom, right?
Golden Boy.
Oh, Golden Boy, exactly. Yep. Golden Boy. You got Frank, PBC. Where's Baranchek at?
Baranchek is Top Rank.
Exactly. Yep. You got Isak, PBC.
Or is he PBC? Is he resigning?
Who?
I mean, he's currently, right? But is he fighting? Oh, yeah, he's PBC. He didn't switch. He's not fighting over there. He may like it, though.
We never know, right? He's at 140, though, as well.
Right.
Let me see. You got Raymond Mortalo. He's a Top Rank fighter.
Yep.
You got Keyshawn, Top Rank. You got Andy Cruz, Matchroom.
Right.
You got George Kambosos. George Kambosos is like an Australian promotion, right?
There's that Triller. Yeah, he's with Lou DiBella.
Right, he's with Lou DiBella, exactly. Obviously you got Devin Haney, who's independent. He's floating in the air right now where he could be.
He's definitely at 135. Is out of the question.
And he's also not there, exactly. You got Mark Chamberlain. He's Queensberry, and he's a great fighter. By the way, Mark Chamberlain's a really good fighter, bro. I'm telling y'all. And then you've got Gustavo Limos. That's the guy who just fought against no, he's not there no more. He's at 140 now, right?
Yeah, I thought he fought
he fought Hitchinson.
Yeah, yep.
You know what I mean? So he's not there. So there it is. That's the top 10 pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's I don't even know who he fights for.
Who?
Limos,
I would have to say he's a Matchroom fighter, bro.
Yeah, could be.
I would think I would say that.
Yeah.
And,
fair enough.
All right, here's the 140. So at 140, you obviously got Tiafimo, who's Top Rank. And you got Devin, who's wherever he wants to be. You got Jack Catterall, who's Jack Catterall on Matchroom?
Yeah, he's Matchroom.
Yeah. Regis is Regis PBC or is he
Matchroom? Matchroom.
Right. You got Liam Paro,
Matchroom.
You got Josh Taylor,
Matchroom.
Is he Matchroom or is he Queensborough? He's Matchroom. Yeah, he's Matchroom.
Matchroom again.
Yeah, Matchroom with Sabril.
Top Rank.
Jermaine Top Rank, and then Ryan is Golden Boy. Jose Ramirez is Golden Boy. Sandro Martin
Isn't he both Matchroom and Top Rank, or is he fully Top Rank now?
He's Top Rank and somebody else. I don't know who he is.
Matchroom. Yeah, Matchroom's his second.
You got Alberto Puello, who fought on a PBC card, so I would assume he's PBC. You got Richardson Hitchens, who's up there, and he's Matchroom. Yo, look, I'll be honest with you. As we go down the list, Elvis Rodriguez just went back to Top Rank. Yeah, as you go down this list, I mean, you got Gary over there at PBC.
Yeah.
Right. So as you go down the list, what you realize, to be honest with you, is PBC doesn't have a monopoly on this, and Eddie Hearn could be a legitimate a legitimate option.
He's a winner in this case.
Huh?
So he's definitely the winner in this case in this list, out of these lists. When it comes to the top guys in those divisions, it's going.
Yeah. Now my thing is, if he goes over to Eddie Hearn, the big fight for Shakur, we always have to keep it in the foresight that the big fight is Tank. Right. Tank is the big fight, and he's gonna do. I think he's gonna do whatever he has to do. He's not gonna put himself into a position where he's getting blocked again, where he's having a difficult time coordinating that. He's gotten too far into the process to get to this point and be like, do a move that's gonna put another, you know what I'm saying, obstacle in front of him and getting this fight put together.
So why would we say that, Roger? Why would he be better off staying with Bob? I think Eddie Hearn has been delivering on a lot of fights this year.
But when it comes to the Tank conversation, Tank seems to clearly have some contention for Eddie Hearn. He doesn't seem to you know what I mean. He has like some clear contention for him, and I know Tank wants to fight Shakur. You know what I mean. He wants to put that fight together. He wants to shut Shakur up, but you know, at the price of, you know, Eddie Hearn. But listen, Eddie Hearn has shown his flexibility. He's shown that he's willing to get out the way. You know what I mean? If y'all don't want me involved in the negotiations and y'all don't want me in it, he's shown his willingness to step out the way. Outside of that fight with Tank Davis, what other reason would he stay with Bob Arum?
Right.
When was the last pay-per-view event Bob Arum, you know what I'm saying, put together? Or one of his fighters, which one? He's sitting on TFEMO and he's never given him a pay-per-view. Right. You know what I'm saying? TFEMO is literally ready to leave off the strength of that.
Loma and Bud are the only two that have been on pay-per-view, right?
Huh?
Loma and Bud are the only two he had on pay-per-view.
Right.
Recent years, yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Loma and Bud, yep. Wait, was Loma on pay-per-view?
Mm-hmm.
Who? Against who?
The Devin fight was pay-per-view.
Which fight?
The Devin, oh man, you trying to put me in the back room. The Devin fight.
Oh yeah, it was Devin. Yep, it was Devin. It was Devin, 100%. So I don't know, man. You know, to me, I think Matchroom is very realistic. I think very realistic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we'll see. And obviously, all this conversation, all of it is depending on what he delivers Saturday night. It makes a big difference on how he delivers on this fight with Artem, that he gives that kind of performance that you know warrants the demand and warrants the options opening up for him. Eddie Hearn has already made it clear that he feels like Shakur hasn't been promoted properly. That's the reason why Shakur isn't where he wants to be. So, you know, he's not giving any value to the poor performance against De Los Santos. He's not giving any value to the fighters he's fought since he's been at 135. He seems to believe like the management has been poor, to say the least. And, you know, he obviously believes that he can bring more to the table.
Facts, Rich. Facts. 37. We got 37 in the building, 20 likes. Get them likes
up. Let's get the likes up for sure, man. Come on, guys. Let's do that for real.
Come on, man. Let's get over 50 in the building today, man. For real.
Yeah, man. Let's make it happen.
There. 13 away. Let's get these people watching.
No doubt. Let me see. Black True says not if he stays at 135. How Bob can get him the Tank fight, but not PBC. PBC can get him obviously PBC can get him the Tank fight. I mean, that probably the reason they signed him. If they sign him, it's going to be for the Tank fight.
That's it, right? And that's just to take the belt. But here's the thing: is Shakur has to get the other belt now. He wants to go undisputed. Is he going to get that other title from Top Rank?
Right. If he goes over to PBC, is he going to get the fight with Baranchyk? Is he going to get the fight with Baranchyk only, assuming that Tank takes those titles off of Loma, right? So Bob has all the belts at 135 except one, right, Mr. Big Play Bray? But I mean, you know, it's very reasonable to argue that in a minute he's going to lose two of those belts. You know what I'm saying? Well, nobody wants to respect the IBO, so the IBF belt, it looks like he's about to lose that to Tank, right? That they're going to bring that over there, and then you got two other belts. You got the WBO, which is who's sitting on the WBO right now? It's Baranchyk.
Baranchyk.
Right, and then so what's missing here?
The IBF.
Oh no, the only belt that'll end up being over there will be that WBO title.
WBA Tank has. It's the only belt that's not there. If Tank wins and Shakur wins, they'll only have the WBO. It'll be another Terrence Crawford situation.
100%. Bob said Loma over everybody, basically. Word is bond. Word. Salute to Charles Edward Cheese in the building. Salute, Cheese. Salute. Right. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. You know what I mean? And shout out to Rachel for making us pull up that list, because that was a big question. You know what I mean? Like, what's the leverage there? You know, what does Bob really have to offer Shakur?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it seems like, you know, realistically speaking, right now, you could put Loma in there as far as that IBF and that WBO being over there. But the truth of the matter is, not too many people are giving Loma a chance over Tank Davis. I think it's, you know, pretty much a consensus across the board that Tank is going to take that belt off of Loma. So there'll only be one belt over there at Top Rank. You know, what does Shakur need to stay over there for? What kind of money is Shakur going to get there that, you know, that Eddie can't get him? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. He said, wait, Chuck E. Cheese to Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah.
But exactly. Salute to my God Cheese, man. I gotta salute Cheese because he sees something in his channel in a very young stage that his channel's at. And I really appreciate him seeing that.
Gratitude. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate him seeing that in his channel in its most infant stages. You know what I mean? Seeing the possibilities for this channel, man. It gives me personally also a lot of motivation. You know what I mean? Like, damn, maybe we really are on to something here. You know what I mean? Put that effort into doing this. So, yeah, man. Cheese is a angel from a lot of ways he moves in this space. Is very angelic. Very, you know what I'm saying? Letting God use him in many ways. Letting God really use him.
Is what real? To Orlando? Many questions, man. What's going on?
Yeah. Listen, man, they want to make it deeper than it need to be, to Orlando.
Listen,
maybe it isn't.
You from the A, man. You from the A. Go play that song "Swagger Like Us" for a minute and listen to those lyrics and then get back to me.
Yeah, man. They just, you know, it is what it is. Matthew Bishop. Salute Matthew Bishop, by the way. He says, I think that Bob Arum wants to see how Shakur's fight sells before he re-signs him. But yeah, I agree with that to a degree. But I also feel like this is not just about Bob Arum offering Shakur. Bob Arum's already made clear that he'd be willing to do something with Shakur, that he's willing to re-sign him. He's already shown his interest. He really doesn't want to let Shakur go. There's like this narrative out there, you know what I mean, that, you know, Bob Arum wants to, you know, get rid of the dead weight of Shakur Stevens. I never went for that. I've never gone for that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Bob Arum knows that Shakur Stevens is a star in the making. You know what I mean? He understands the asset that he has in Shakur Stevens. A bad fight with De Los Santos, and, you know what I mean, difficulty getting those fights that Shakur needs in order to be moved forward into stardom. He can't hold that against Shakur. He shouldn't. And he's too smart of a man, too old, been in this game, forgotten way more than we'll ever know to make a mistake on dismissing Shakur Stevenson's value to Top Rank. You know, really the choice is in front of Shakur. If Shakur can deliver that performance, he can go wherever he wants to go. I believe that. He can go wherever he wants to go. You know? So it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see here. So, yeah, I mean, we broke that down, I think, about as far as we're going to break that down. We can get into the next fight on that card, the co-main event in Shaki Foster versus Robinson Kinsakio. Now, what's the story here? When did Shaki Foster start fighting? Do you know? Like when he went, because I know he had a stint he did in jail, in prison for a minute, and he had some other things that he was doing before he went into prison. It seems like he jumped on the boxing late. Am I accurate? Is it fair to say that? Or
no, he started young.
He started young?
Yeah, he started young. He just he just had some trouble growing up, man. But he just felt got more concentrated in the boxing to stay away from more troubles. But yeah, he started. I think he started when he was like 9 or something like that. Foster. So, but I think he got into some trouble late. You know what I mean? And then I think it was like a family member passed away, his mom or somebody, and then that's when he kind of put all his eggs in one basket.
Salute Jay Cash, the money man. So I guess so Hood Rich is saying that he came back from some addiction, so he dealt with some addiction, right?
That was he had some issues. I think it was all like with his mom and stuff, though, right? Hood Rich, if I'm not mistaken, somebody passed away.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing an interview. Yeah, somebody passed away. It was his mom. His mom passed away, and it threw him off track. It threw him off,
right? And got some trouble and shit. Yeah.
So ultimately, he stepped away from the boxing space, for a little bit of time. Then he got in some trouble with the law,
right.
And then he did a little stint in there. Then he came back out and said, from what I understand, and remember that interview, basically saying that he promised to God. Like how to, like a lot of guys who go to prison make that promise to God, like, yo, if I get this opportunity, I'm not going to play with it. I'm really going to go all the way with it. You know what I mean? So now, he's in he's a champion, a WBC champion at 130. There are opportunities there for him to unify, right? You got Lamont Roach down there. And you got obviously 2 other champions on there. I'm not familiar with them on top of my head.
Well, you just mentioned one the other day. Right? Didn't Roberto Romero lose the one?
No, those are 126 champions.
That's 126, 130.
126.
I thought he moved up to 130. I thought he was at 130. Well, you might be right.
Yeah, you check it. You're faster.
Am I? Damn. Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm sorry, Navarrete. You right. No.
Right, Navarrete is the champion down there.
And Anthony Kasake.
Yeah, Kakachi. Right? And that's the one we just saw put the beats on what's his name? The other British that he was on that card on that
Yeah.
On that Riyadh card.
Yeah.
He was on that card, that 5-on-5 maybe?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's opportunities there for him to unify and become an undisputed champion at 130. But also rumors have been going around about O'Shaquie Foster about difficulties making the weight at 130. Now, O'Shaquie seems to have pretty much took some ownership of that, saying, it was nutrition. It was just the way he was eating and that he had hired a nutritionist and that wasn't going to be an issue anymore. But still in the background, there's rumors like, nah, this dude's having a hard time making this weight. A lot of people feel like he's on his way out and that there's a lot of more opportunities for him to become a big champion or at least get into bigger money fights at 135, right? You add him to that equation, he makes the 135 division a lot more interesting. First of all, Ray, what do you think? Do you think there's a good chance that this guy could be considering to go to 135 right now? Or do you think he's pretty much content with what he's doing at 130?
I think he tries to unify one of the belts is whatever one. Maybe one more fight here. Then he moves up. I don't think he's far from moving up. I think his last fight showed that. I know he's been struggling like his last 3 fights to really make that weight. He's been right on the borderline of not making weight. But yeah, I think he's soon to move up. I just think he wants to unify. And I think his biggest challenge was Lamont Roach at the time, but I could see him going after whoever wins at the Oscar Valdez Navarrete just to get another belt because that WBO allows you to move up to fight for another belt. So we can see him making that move over there. They both, Navarrete on top rank, and so is Oscar, right?
Right. I mean, he's a WBC champion. And how do the rules work as far as, we got 39 people in the building. Salute. I appreciate you guys being in the building. Please remember to hit that thumbs up. You guys in the building, appreciate you. Let's help the algorithm recognize us in the space. The WBC rules is, he can go up and challenge at 135 for a fight against a Shakur or something of that nature. Am I correct?
Right. That'll be another good fight that they can put on a 3-fight deal or maybe a 5-fight deal. If Shakur decides to do the 5 fights that was offered to him, if he shops himself around, that's a fight you can bring up there. Just because remember, O'Shaquie was calling Shakur out at 135. He was trying to get that fight big. So that's something that can play into the plans of Top Rank. That I think that'll bring a lot of viewership to Top Rank if that fight happened at 135, especially if there's a title on the line, bro. You see, like I said, you know what I mean? Everything, all the writings on the wall for Shakur to go back to Top Rank, but we'll have to see.
100%, man.
And I forgot to mention, Bud has his own promotional company now, so I can see even Shakur signing there. I forgot to say that.
And that's actually a very interesting piece of information because Bud now has the backing as an ambassador of Riyadh, which is, in my opinion, Riyadh's version of signing fighters. You know what I'm saying? This ambassador terminology, just like the excellency thing had the whole space going crazy when everybody was calling Turkey his excellent. I think ambassador is very close to I'm signed here.
Salute Jonathan 97 for real. Yeah, teach peace. Yeah, absolutely. For real. Like,
right.
I forgot to really throw that out there. I was thinking that was in the back of my mind when we was talking about this the other day. So that's something to really consider.
Right. And with having the backing of somebody like Turkey, maybe
them two Ferraris land at the front of Tank's doorstep.
Yeah. You never know. Right? We'll talk about that later. Okay. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So yeah, that's interesting. But back to O'Shaquie Foster, right? So at 130, him going into this fight, I thought it was interesting that you said that you feel like he wants to, that, you know, he might consider unifying, maybe getting that fight with Lamont Roach and making one more big fight at 130. Because if he's going to go, he might as well go big, right? You got to go ahead and go at Lamont Roach and unify. And then at that point, I also saw somebody in the chat mention it, and that is true, that Raymond Ford, obviously coming off that loss against Nick Ball, a lot of people said he was having difficulties dealing with that weight cut down at 126, and that he was talking about heading up to 130 and potentially challenging up there, putting himself in position to become a champion in that division as well. That kind of leaves a great fight for O'Shaquie Foster to put together as well against Raymond Ford. But would you agree with me that it would be fair to say that his money fights, though, the money fights that O'Shaquie Foster has in front of him, they're really at 135 in comparison to 130, right? And where is O'Shaquie Foster in his career today? Is he chasing legacy or is he chasing money? Is he chasing, because if he's chasing legacy, maybe becoming undisputed, maybe getting all those belts are a big deal to him. But if he's chasing money, and there's still legacy in the money fights at 135 for him.
Right.
There's legacy.
I think it's easier. I think it's the toll on the body, bro. Like, pause. Like, I think he I don't think he wants to keep doing it there. I think it's easier for him to take on Navarrete under the same banner.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets that WBO, move up. He ain't got to worry about Lamont Roach. He ain't got to worry about Anthony Kasake. He moves right up. Or Kakache. Let me say it right. He moves right up. He takes that opportunity to fight Baranchat. Snatch that from Shakur, right?
Right.
Snatch that from Shakur. Guess what he does? Now him and Shakur got a big fight on the table.
100%. 100%. Yo, salute Rodzilla.
Yeah,
I remember him saying that. Yeah, Rodzilla. I definitely.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, Rodzilla, I do remember him. I mentioned that a little earlier. He definitely said that, you know, the 130 was just a nutrition issue, that he hired a nutritionist. He was doing it by himself, feeding himself, you know, him and his camp, and now he's addressing it. So he did kind of, you know, put it out there that, you know, the 130 actually wasn't an issue, but you got to ask yourself at times, you know, fighters say things to keep, you know, to keep the pressure off of their competition, to thinking things are wrong, thinking things are difficult for them. But, you know, there's still rumors in the background that he's having a hard time making the weight. And although he may feel like making 130 is not a problem anymore, we have to see how the nutritionist and the weight cut affects his productivity in the ring. You know what I mean? And I'm sure we'll get a lot of those questions answered this weekend. We'll see how he performs against Robinson, how well he performs. If Robinson gives him the fight that will test his conditioning and test his, you know what I'm saying, that test him in that way to let us know. But yeah, I agree with you, Rodzilla Jones. I did hear him saying that. What did he say? The last two fights he's been just getting by like Talib Kweli. I hear you, Rodzilla.
I mean, yeah, and yes and no. I think it's just he's been hurting himself with the weight, and I think it's been making it harder for him to go distance. Like he's been going long distances, so in those fights, I think that like we all say, the weight plays a difference. When you cutting that weight, you lose things. So it's a big thing. So I think, like I say, he probably just takes this fight and hold on. Can I get a horn real quick? Shout out to Robson and Sakiel. This is like his fourth or fifth championship fight in the last 5 fights, like straight up. I think his last 5 fights he's been on title shot. So that man has been doing something great down there. He doesn't get the respect he deserves, and I'm soon to believe that whoever vacates first and moves up, he's going to get one of those belts. You know what I mean, he's a strong fighter down there, and I think he's I just want to give that man some respect. He's going to be a good fight for O'Shaquie, and he's a good guy to have on your resume. He's not a journeyman. He's definitely a challenge to everybody he fought. Right.
I agree with you 100%. And to me, he kind of has like that Daniel Dubois a little bit. As far as the rehabilitation, as far as the way he's been able to that fight he had with Navarrete was just just showed his grit. He just showed his grit in that fight. To take that fight into a draw, man.
And getting knocked down, bro.
Yeah. And there were times in that fight where I thought he was heading out of here. I thought Navarrete was about to get him out of here, man. And he was able to tap into his heart. You know what I mean? Tap into that fire in his stomach to just will his way through that fight. Not just will it and survive. Nah, not survive, fight. Put Navarrete in situations, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was amazing to watch him do that. And, you know, in a way, that's what I compare to Daniel Dubois a little bit. Like Daniel Dubois has that grit about him. He shows like, you know, you're going to have to kill him a little bit, even though he showed his lack of heart, you know, when he fought against Usyk and also obviously against Joe Joyce. But as of late, and I just compare it in that fact because it just seems like as of late, and Sakiel's had like a rebirth, you know what I'm saying? A reinvention of himself and who he is, where some people might have thought he would have been on his way out the door as far as the results of him fighting against Shakur and how Shakur had him looking in that fight. For him to come back and just have this resurgence back into space and constantly be in these title fights, you got to give him respect. He's an Olympian at the end of the day, for sure. Right. You know, he's an Olympian, and you got to give him that Olympian respect. Tone Dev said Foster has weight drain issues. Mentally, there may be an upset on that co-main. Listen, Tone. Robson is the kind of fighter, if there's going to be an upset, you would think somebody like Robson could give the upset.
Right.
This may very well be the fight that lets O'Shaquie Foster, that helps O'Shaquie Foster in his decision on what he's going to do next. Okay. If his condition is in question, if he's having a hard time with the weight cut, this fight will expose it to himself and maybe to the world if something bad happens, God forbid, you know what I'm saying? But to himself, he'll be able to go back to the locker room, victory or no victory, and say, yeah, it's time for me to move forward, or man, I felt great. I'm going to rock out here at 130, man, and make these other fights down here and get these belts and unify. We'll see, right?
Yep.
Let me see. Ross Scott said, how did Dubois show lack of heart versus Joyce? His eye socket was broken. Yeah, man, the eye socket being broken is severe, man. A broken eye socket is that's a hard injury to deal with, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people question his heart from that fight. They feel like, you know what I mean, he kind of gave up in that fight. But I hear you, Ross Scott, you're right. That's a very painful injury to get. Like, if you know, right? Very painful injury. I never questioned Daniel Dubois' heart, even against maybe a little bit against Alexander, but not even really. You know what I'm saying? Not even really Alexander that much. You know what I mean? I think he's a mentally strong person. Like I said, before he took these losses, he was an up and coming contender. Everybody knew that he was that next guy to watch out for. And like you just said, Keji, yeah, Dubois was 22 years old, man, young guy, and also a guy who was homeschooled, right? Who has a father who's very controlling, a good father, a loving father who's committed to seeing the best for his son. But at the end of the day, when you're in those situations, sheltered things happens, right? where he knows boxing, but is he really exposed to the world for what it really is? You should the world, the whole space is celebrating that he has a girlfriend now. You know what I mean? That's this put that in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's like, oh, Daniel got a Dubois finally. Yeah, I said Daniel got a Dubois. Daniel Dubois got a girlfriend finally. Oh, that's great. Like just look how the space is reacting to it. So he's growing up in front of our eyes. I mean, he's just like this big baby, right? Like not to knock him respectfully, but he's a big guy. Hits hard, just a scary dude, but at the same time, mentally a very young guy.
He's becoming he looks like he might become the face of heavyweight boxing, believe it or not. Hate to say it, like his trial and tribulations, he's been there. He's lost. He knows what it feels like 2 times, 3 times, whatever. He's working on. It looks like he's working on skill sets. Obviously, he needs to lose some of that bulk, and I think he needs to start moving, get a little bit more agile. But he's showing to be a threat at the division. He's got a big fight going against a long-time champion and a veteran of the heavyweight division.
Right.
One that they thought was the face of heavyweight division, which I currently think he is, even though Usyk's there. I think this is a matchup, and it's a battle. What we're forgetting is this is the Battle of England, man. This is where it's at. Wembley Stadium, wherever they're gonna have this, man. This is it. You know what I mean? You're gonna have Manchester versus Man U. I mean Man U versus Manchester City, bro, all up in one area. So it's gonna be dope.
100%, man. I couldn't agree with you more on that, man. I really think that captured it the right way. But yeah, just kind of bringing it full circle back to the old Shaki Foster Consecutive fight. We're going to get those questions answered for Shaki Foster. That's what I'm looking to see is he committed to staying at 130, or is he looking to make this his last fight in the division, and does that affect his performance? You know what I'm saying, against a Consecutive when it gets tough, and Consecutive can make it tough. How is Shaki Foster going to react and deal with that, right? So it is what it is. It is what it is. Consecutive, this might be his last chance. Like you just mentioned earlier, he's had so many chances. How many more chances is this man really going to have? You know what I'm saying? Right. Something has to give for him. I have to believe that he's looking at this fight as his last opportunity, right, to become a champion in that 130 division. Maybe he's considering going to 135 as well. I don't see why he would. He's not that big of a guy. He's not a big dude. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's a big dude for one. He's big. He's a big dude. Right?
He's not a small 130 pounder. He's a little bigger, and he shows. Listen, he has grit, bro. At the end of the day, he has grit, and that's what makes him a great boxer. Whether he moves up or whatever the case may be, he has a grit. And I think he should have won that fight. I think he should be holding the WBO right now. I really do. I think he won that fight hands down with Navarrete.
Okay. Robinson?
Yeah. Robinson won that fight, I believe, Consecutive. But, hey, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes it don't go your way, and I think he has an opportunity to help things go his way. He can get an interim title. Wherever the case may be, he's going to get something.
Right.
I mean, a revenge shot against Oscar Valdez will be a good fight. I think he can beat Oscar Valdez this time. Oscar Valdez plans to be back on a different level, but we'll see when that fight happens.
Right. Yeah, man. So that's going to be a very competitive fight, potentially fight of the night. That's a potential fight of the night, man. They could definitely take it. Both those guys have shown heart. Shaki Foster's had his comeback, to stop somebody in the latter rounds. And Robinson Consecutive had a very competitive fight with Navarrete. These guys are going to leave it all in the ring, and I think they have every vested interest to do it. Shaki Foster to really make a statement in this fight as to whether he's going to stay at 130 and unify, or whether he's going to. I mean, what do you think if he loses against Robinson Consecutive? Are you pretty much assured at that point? Would you say you're assured that he's going up to 135 at that point?
Yeah. There's no point in him staying there. I wouldn't even take a rematch in that fight because you're already having trouble making a weight. That's probably going to be a strong possibility of why you're not at full strength and full ability. Mm-hmm. Why stay there and revisit that? To get your lick back? No, that guy's going to move up too eventually. You get your lick back up there. You know what I mean? Right. Go up there, campaign for a title. You know what I mean? Get your lick back up there with somebody else. You know what I mean? And once you get up there and get a title, then you put your name in the hat, and then you can maybe call him up or do something else where you're comfortable. That's what happens at the end of the day. A lot of people want to stay in these small weight classes, and they want to be like, oh well, I'm gonna just stay here and get my leg back. No, man, just let it go. You know what I mean? Actually, what's the name did the right thing? What's the name that just Raymond Ford? He did the right thing. He's like, bro,
Right.
I'm too big for this division. You know what I mean? I tried. Little dude got me, bro. It's time for me to go. So
100%.
it is what it is.
100%. I think that's why he put that performance he did on too. Like he gave a real effort performance. Like, yo, fuck it, it's either gonna work. We're gonna put it all out in this mug, or we're gonna move on, bro. I ain't protecting no title that I don't even know if I'm gonna stay here and defend again after this fight. So either I'm gonna try to knock this guy out, take this opportunity to put an exciting fight on in front of Turkey Al-Sheikh and in front of the world, so they can kind of get an idea who Raymond Ford really is. And if that ends up with him being stopped and me getting a dominating performance, even better. But if I lose, that just lets me know barbecue and mildew, time to get off the pot. You know what I'm saying? We're going to move on to our next best opportunity. I believe salute Blue in the building.
Word in the building.
Sure. Yeah, so now what was I going to say? I was actually going to say something. I got a little thrown off right now. So let me see. O'Shaquie, boom, take this win, move up to the next weight class. Oh yeah, the question that was asked by Green Villain. And I need to give him a wrench too. Green Villain really contributes a lot to the channel. Green Villain says, but who can he beat at 135? Listen, fighter, somebody like O'Shaquie Foster, I don't think he's entertaining not being able to beat
I tell you,
anybody.
he gives Keyshawn Davis a hell of a fight.
But also, whether he wins or he doesn't win, he still has an opportunity to make a lot of money up there.
Right.
And greatness awaits him in that division if he's able to, you know what I mean, get these wins and get titles up there. So, you know, the thought process in O'Shaquie Foster's mind can't be, I want to stay at 130 because I don't think I could beat nobody at 135. I think if he goes up to 135, naturally, as a fighter and having a fighter spirit and a warrior spirit, he thinks he can win up there. But at the same time, I think it's reasonable to argue that there are opportunities for him to make money that he would never make at 130. And how old is O'Shaquie Foster, by the way?
I think like 30 something. Hold on a second. So you got me working tonight, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's like 29.
Yeah, I think he's like, I was going to say 30, 20. Yeah, you might be on 30. I was right, 30.
He's 30? Okay. So Foster's 30 years old. So he also needs to start considering making money. You know what I'm saying? He needs to start also weighing that out, right? He needs to start weighing out making money and making the most money he can. You know, he's a prize fighter first, right? Legacy is important. But just based off the money, I think 135 is very realistic for him to go up there and make some great fights. Make some great fights up there. And he's at a minimum, O'Shaquie Foster's a great dancing partner. And you guys know I'm big on dancing partners. I think dancing partners are important. When I see people like Isak Cruz go up to 140, I say, whoa, he just made the division more interesting. What a dancing partner. You know what I'm saying? When I seen Teofimo fight against Steve Claggett and Steve Claggett took a loss, I still said, wow, what a dancing partner. Those fighters stand across the ring from your favorite fighter and give you some of the best fights that you've ever seen. So O'Shaquie Foster has an opportunity at a minimum to be a great dancing partner and, look, be a contender as well at 135. I hope that makes a little sense.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
His easiest fight, I'm telling you, he needs to guard this WBO from Navarrete his next fight. They're in the same camp. They're both on top rank. Grab that belt and move up, bro. Move up, go fight Barichek, use that leverage. Get a title. You got Shakur right there. That's a big fight. You can make that fight happen next year. And that, you know what I mean? If Shakur doesn't fight Tank right away, that's another unification fight you can have.
100%.
It's a unification 100%. Fight you can have in the summer with Tank and Shakur if they both are successful, or O'Shaquie and Tank, which is even a crazier fight. You know what I mean? Nobody would expect that.
Yeah, man. Opportunities for those guys up in at 135 for no Shaq Foster. So let's see what he does. Let's see how he performs. Obviously, we're talking a little bit ahead. We're talking the next day type of things.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does Saturday night against who's in front of him in Robinson Conceicao. You know what I'm saying? What happened? What happened?
Can't mess with Ross Club, man.
They remain only idiots cry and complain when they see a good fight like Tio versus Claggett. Listen, man. Right, Ross. Great fight, man. You know what I mean?
For who? Is the question. For Claggett, yes.
Definitely for Claggett. It doesn't seem like that for Tio because people are really coming down on Tio. Me personally, I'm not. What's
up, Pop Shop?
What's up, Pop Shop? Salute, King. I'm not really putting T.O. down as bad as everybody else, but I definitely have to acknowledge that it doesn't seem like the fight did him any favors in the space. It seems like he's getting a lot of criticism across the board. I see it across the board, man. There's a handful of people who are like, you know, giving T.O. some respect for that performance.
Mm-hmm.
The mass is completely hasn't helped him and his brand from what I could tell, but we'll see.
Right.
We'll see. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what we're going to look at on that. Now, also on that card, we have the up and coming, you know, really a contender who's in a perfect position right now in his career, with Shakur potentially leaving Top Rank, maybe becoming one of the most important fighters, biggest assets on Bob Arum's roster, in Keyshawn Davis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like at the end of the day, Keyshawn looks like he's in position right now to really be one of the main biggest assets on Bob Arum's roster. How do you feel about that?
He's still, listen, by default, yes. By him fighting, no. Yeah, he dominated what was in front of him, but not dominate. He didn't really dominate. He had a tough fight or two, but his last fight he did outperform a seasoned veteran. But was that guy pulled down from 140 and you know what I mean, being who he was at his age was Pedraza the fight for him to make a statement. I think the fight before showed Keyshawn who he really was. But I think if we go two fights before, because the one got wiped off his record. But I think we have to see Keyshawn get some elite competition before I give him that gratitude. I think he does have talent. The talent's there, but I need to see him fight somebody that's really going to push back. And I don't see anybody. I don't see Bob making those fights for him right now because they want to give him the easy road to being a dance partner, and to being a victor and a champion one day. Keyshawn needs to step it up. He needs to ask for these fights, and I'm not saying he hasn't, because he has been calling fighters out and he believes that's at his level. But I think he needs to move up in better competition. I think he needs to start fighting some of these A fighters. I mean, there's a Muratalla in your division. There's other people. Barachek has a belt. We can see it happening. Lee Woods, like, there's a lot of guys that we can see him. Actually, Lee Woods is at 130. Excuse me. What's the other guy that's over there? I confused him. Liam Smith? Is it? I gotta look it up. Hold on, let me look it up, because there's another guy over there. I think. Oh, even Andy Cruz. You pull Andy Cruz out and fight him. But let me look here real quick.
Now, the gentleman who he's fighting is Miguel Madueno.
Right.
This guy that he's fighting. What's his record right now? I think he's got like a pretty high knockout ratio. Like, he's damn near. He might have like one loss if I'm correct, right? Hold on, let me pull him up.
Yeah. Let's take a look at him. He got 2 losses, 31, 28 knockouts. It's gonna be a tough fight.
This fight could be Steve Claggett Teofimo fight. You know what I mean?
I think it's going to be a tough fight for him. I don't know this guy's style. I'm going to have to go look at him and see what kind of fights he do. I mean, style he has and things like that, and see what he can bring to the table. He could be a great dancing partner based on his technique or fighting style.
Right.
If he's 28 KOs, that means he has a right hand. You know what I mean? That means he can put him out.
Right.
Can we see Keyshawn step up? If his footwork's great, bro, it could be a long night. If he's just a come forward fighter like Claggett, that's playing right into Keyshawn's corner. Keyshawn likes those type of fighters. You know what I mean?
100%. But Tio liked those type of fighters supposedly, right, and ended up on the bad side of a.
Well, I don't think he would hurt him coming forward. I think because what I tell you that Tio should have done, he should have kept Claggett.
You definitely trolling Green Villain.
I say he should have kept recognize it. right. But I'm saying he should have kept what's the name in the center of the ring and utilize the jab. Keyshawn will do that. He'll move laterally and control the fight, even if he's a come forward fighter with that same style as Claggett.
Right.
If he's that same fighter, then at the end of the day, we're going to see a difference in what Keyshawn can do. Now, if Keyshawn boxes on the back foot and he's that same type of fighter, we're going to see trouble. You know what I mean? So it'll be the same wash, rinse, repeat. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I think that if he's high level and he has some skills, even though he has a high guard and he has footwork and he sees things and he lands shots and he can calculate them,
right,
bro, he can win that fight. I got to go watch. I'm going to be honest with you. I need to go see what he really about and who he really is. But he looks like he's got a different got a nice little what's his name? Guess who he lost to last, by the way? Steve Claggett.
Wow. How interesting is that?
Interesting, right?
How interesting is that, right? How interesting is that? Let me see here, see if I can pull up any kind of highlights of him. I ain't gonna play it because they be throwing shots at me when I do this type of shit. Let me see here. Let's see if I can pull up any highlights. Any highlights of this guy. Yeah, they got the highlights of Claggett versus Madueno. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what kind of fighter he is. You know what I mean? Like, is he a come forward fighter? Is he a boxer? But he has a high knockout ratio, so this could be a challenge for Keyshawn. But when I said earlier that Keyshawn has an opportunity, that the stars have aligned for him, obviously I'm taking into consideration Shakur leaving potentially, and him being ranked high in the WBC rankings.
I think they're going to put all their weight on Abdullah Mason.
We're gonna talk about him in a minute as well.
Right.
Actually,
I got you. But I'm just saying, I think they bypassed Keyshawn. You're asking me the question. I didn't want to go there.
Bypass Keyshawn?
Oh yeah, I think they'll keep him who he is, and I think they want to build Mason first. And I'm glad, I don't want to go too far into it. I'll wait till we get to that point.
Yeah, we're about to go there in a minute. Anonymous says Madueno is a come forward fighter. I would think he is. I kind of assumed he was with that kind of record. Nah, man, listen, man. I don't think so. I think they're definitely going to put effort into Abdullah Mason. He's definitely up and coming. Mm-hmm. He is that guy on that roster at Top Rank. But I disagree. I think that Bob Arum he has a lot of interest in seeing Keyshawn being. He knows Keyshawn at a minimum. Once again, Keyshawn Davis at a minimum is a great dancing partner, if not a champion, a future champion in that division. And putting him in front of Madueno is building him. That's an investment in Keyshawn Davis's brand and image, and building him into who they want him to be. I think they want him to be a champion. I don't think they want to sacrifice him or play him to the side, or I don't think they would put him against Abdullah Mason as far as promote one over the other. I think they're on two different spaces in their boxing careers. Abdullah Mason,
I agree with that.
Abdullah's in his prospect stage of his career, so he's getting pushed a certain way, and Keyshawn has just left the prospect area and is going up in his contender stage of his career.
I'm going to give you a better way of looking at it, maybe, and you guys in the chat can chime in, agree, disagree. You know where I see this build is between them two? Bud and Loma. They were building Bud. They slowed down. They started building Loma, and they pushed Loma. They stopped pushing Bud. I see the same thing with Keyshawn. I think they move him a little bit. You know what I mean? They can make him a champion. They whatever. They'll just keep him where he's at. But that guy, that superstar you have, is Abdullah Mason, and they want that superstar to rise. And they're going to take their time with Abdullah, but he's going to be in a 10-round fight soon. I think he's already up to 8 fights. Keyshawn just got out of 8 round fights. Just got out of 8 round fights. 3 fights ago?
Right.
Abdullah's about to be in a 10. By the time he hits 15, his 15th fight, he's going to be in 10 round fights.
Right.
I mean, and then he's going to probably his first title shot before he gets his 20th fight. I guarantee it. Keyshawn's almost at his 20. What is he at? 16 fights?
He's like at
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right. So
what's Keyshawn at?
He fights like what, 3 or 4 fights a year?
I don't think
he's 10-0. He's 10-0. Right?
That's what I'm about to say. Yeah, he's not.
That's even crazier. So now that's even crazier because when he's shelving, bro. Bro, he ain't gonna move him like that. He is not gonna.
They're moving him like that presently. They're pushing him into title contention. In contention, they're putting him in the same conversations of fighting potentially fighting Tank Davis, even like what I mean. Like they talk about him like that. I don't think they're gonna put him in there, but Keyshawn is definitely moving fast. He's moving fast, and they're moving him fast. You know what I'm saying? I don't think. I'm telling you, man, I just think I think there's vested interest in seeing Keyshawn. Listen, man, if they want to play Keyshawn to the side like that and not promote him, I don't know how many fights he has left on his contract, but trust me, if Bob doesn't see the value in Keyshawn, somebody else will see it, bro.
He does. That kind of fighter. I'm not telling you he don't see the value. What I'm saying is that he's going to be a good dancing partner for a lot of fighters. And he'll rather take the chance on putting them against good quality fights as opposed to elite quality fights. I think he'll take a chance on putting Mason in an elite fight before he does Keyshawn. I promise you that. All right,
but that it's reasonable to argue back that if they were willing to take Abdullah Mason and throw him in what I consider danger, right, to put him in a big elite championship fight before his time. That's kind of sacrificing him and not really developing him correctly, which I don't think they'll do. I think they're going to develop him correctly. I think he has too smart of a team as well between his father and his camp. I think they're just too smart to allow something stupid like that to happen. But
opportunity comes only once, man. Once opportunity knocks, you got to take it. They'll push that issue. They'll say that. You know what I mean? That's how they'll present it.
Right. If they take Keyshawn and from what you're describing, protect him. Right, and not put him in those big fights. To me, that shows that you know what I mean, the value that entails the value that they see in Keyshawn Davis. You know what I'm saying? If they were to move with him that way, that they actually see a value in him and they want to protect him. So, I mean, we'll see what they'll do. Yeah, Greenville and everybody want to see that Keyshawn Andy Cruz fight, right. And I think in time that fight comes together. But it does seem Keyshawn commented on it. He had an interview where he spoke on. If it was up to him, he would have been fought Andy Cruz. So when he said that to me, it sounds like the powers that be kind of don't want that to happen right now. They want to see something else happen. And maybe they're building Andy Cruz a little bit more, being that he has a fight coming up in August. He's going to be on that card, on that Terrence Crawford card. He's going to be fighting his first, in my opinion, contender in that fight. I can't remember who he's fighting, but it's a contender. I know it is. That he's going to be fighting. It's going to be his first big fight. So let's see how he performs in that fight. But yeah, man, look, just bringing it full circle to say that Keyshawn Davis is in position.
Moran.
Right. So he's in position to really move forward and put more arguments into the whole I want a big fight next fight, depending on how
I agree. I'm just telling you that you're going to see the training wheels taking off Abdullah Mason a lot faster for a championship or a contender fight. You know what I mean? 12-round fight, possibly before you see Keyshawn getting one training wheel taken off. Well, he already got one taken off, but we'll see how long before they take the other one off. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe this performance is going to be what gets the other wheel turned off. You know
that's what I'm saying. He has to like show me this fight, and I still think there's the better fight out there for him at the end of the day. That needs to prove that needs to show that.
No doubt.
Maybe put him in the ring with what's his name? De La Cruz. Not De La Cruz. Who's Santos? De Los Santos.
De Los Santos, maybe. Or I see people calling in here to see him in the ring with the Frank Martin.
That too.
That'd be a great fight for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Roscoe just said it too. You know what I'm saying?
Ghouls. I know you mean good.
He's a dual prospect. Is a good prospect.
Ghouls.
Yeah. The S is right next to that D. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So listen, man, it's a big fight. Keyshawn is on the trajectory, in my opinion, to be one of the biggest stars in the 135-pound weight class division. I think it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works with Shakur Stevenson staying at 135 and chasing to be undisputed there and looking unified. It seems like they're on a collision course, on an inevitable collision course at some point in time, especially with Bob Arum, especially if Shakur leaves Top Rank. If Shakur leaves Top Rank, I'm sure Bob would love
in that case, they're going to try to find somebody, which, to replace Shakur. And that may be where they go first. I just ultimately don't see them moving him all the way, to that status just yet. I think they want to still build Keyshawn. And like I said, I'm not knocking his talent. He's definitely talented. I just think he needs to.
For sure, Anonymous. That's what we're talking about, Keyshawn. Yep.
Yeah, I just think he needs a little bit more. He needs to show me something. Like I said, he don't need like an elite fighter. He just needs somebody that's going to like push him. We'll see how this fight he takes on now. If this guy pushes him around a lot, or if he just dominates the fighter in front of him. It'll speak a lot. But I think somebody like I was just mentioning like Muratalo will be a great dancing partner. Even though Muratalo is a season fighter, I think that'd be a great step up for him to prove himself. Even if he loses, his performance can tell us. It could be a win for him without being a win. In other words, because it'll show us where he's at in boxing, and that's what we want to see, his development, and that can push him forward at that point. Even with a loss, it'll push him forward into a better case. If he gets dominated in a fight like that, we'll be like, look, he's who we thought he was. And we don't. I want to see him successful. So at the end of the day, I would like to see him in the ring with somebody that is a challenge, a bit more of a challenge, and somebody that, with a name attached to him.
I agree. I think in due time, I think what we mentioned earlier with him being 10-0 right now, that needs to be taken into consideration as well. You know what I mean? He's on that journey right now. And he's moving fast. So, I think everybody wanting to see him in the ring with somebody up and coming like that, like a contender like that, just it speaks to his talent. It speaks to the fact that we think that he needs to step up his competition, because who he's been fighting, we feel like hasn't really made him go in his bag to really confirm for us who he really is and who he's going to be at 135. Right. So Keyshawn this is a big fight for him. Keyshawn Davis versus Miguel Madueno. Potentially also another potential fight of the night fight, in my opinion, or knockout of the night fight. You know what I'm saying? We could say it like that. Maybe not fight of the night, but maybe knockout of the night fight. You know what I mean? Right. Sean says, I agree with you, Ray, but Top Rank only going to pair two young fighters. If one of them they are looking to drop, they won't pair two ascending fighters. Yeah, Sean always got them jewels to drop. We're going to throw that link soon, too. We're definitely going to throw that link up soon as well. Yeah, shout out to Sean. That's a very interesting perspective, Sean. That makes sense. You know what I mean? That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, basically, he's saying what I was saying. I don't see them putting both of them in the same category, and I think they see more in Abdullah Mason. I think the eye test has said that Abdullah Mason is going to accomplish more, in my opinion. That's my opinion, my thoughts. And I just see that Top Rank will move that way first before they jump on all cylinders for Keyshawn.
Agree with you, brother. I definitely agree with you, man. We'll see, man. We'll see. I agree with you on that thinking to a degree, but at the same time, I do, because Abdullah Mason is just a generational talent, man. Just the eye test says that kid has Jerron Ennis, energy. Like, he's just super talented, man, and he got brought up the right way in the game. You know what I'm saying? The way his father trained him, he got brought up the right way. He's fundamentally sound, man, exciting. And the boxing space loves knockouts, and Abdullah Mason delivers on that. And he doesn't just deliver it by like savagely running through people. No, he breaks them. He dissects the fighter in front of him apart and stops him in the most entertaining way. So yeah, man. But Keyshawn is also there. And like they said in the chat here, he knows how to market himself. He's a social media,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, give and take. We'll see.
Yeah.
Big fights for big fight for Keyshawn Davis Saturday night. Huge fight. A big performance for him, a big stoppage. Keeps fueling his ascension in the division, and we'll see where it goes from there. Like I said, the stars could be aligning with the whole Shakur situation. If Shakur indeed leaves Top Rank, leaves an opening there for Bob Arum's attention. And he puts himself right in position to challenge for a title within the next, 2 fights? 2-3 fights? Okay. He's right there challenging for a title. So we'll see what he does. Moving along.
Excuse me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm here.
Yeah, moving along. We've done Shakur, we've done O'Shaquie, and we've gone through Keyshawn. Abdullah Mason, right? I'll wait a little bit and talk about Abdullah Mason. Shakur going to be fighting bums for the next 3 fights. Maybe Roscott. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if he's going to be fighting bums, but I know he's going to be fighting. I know that activities is vital. You know what I mean? The activity is definitely vital. But Abdullah Mason is going to be fighting. Who is Abdullah Mason fighting? He's going to be fighting somebody who he should be knocking out. You know what I mean? They're developing Abdullah Mason right now. They're not going to put him in any dangerous fights right now. I think they're moving in the right direction with Abdullah Mason, to be honest with you. I really do think they're moving in the right direction with him. I know people want to see him in the ring with better competition. They want to see him in front of people, but I think they're moving slowly. I think there's a game plan for Abdullah Mason. I mean, you saw how Ray was just talking about him, and the space has been talking accordingly about what the expectations are for him. So right now he's definitely in the development the development. I'm being funny. I agree. Activity is very important. Yeah, no doubt, man. Louis LeBron, yes. Mason's fighting Louis LeBron, Greenville. Thank you. Now, Louis LeBron, what kind of record does he have?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
Yeah, check out who Louis LeBron is.
So here's what I have to say also about I'm glad you're on this topic. Before we go down a whole list of things, please let me say this first. He's 20-5. They call him Popeye, which is weird. That's his name.
What's his knockout?
13. He's like
the average
5%. Yeah, 65% KO ratio. He's got 1 draw, 5 losses, 0 by KOs, all final rounds. So he's a fighter. Looks like he's
he's food. He's food.
But he's 31 years old with this type of record. I'm just saying he ain't been active. So
he's food.
Yeah, he's definitely somebody tailor-made for this for Mason. Real quick, what I wanted to say is you said Kamal has been added to this card, right? So me thinking
not to this card,
right?
To the Masvidal card,
right? So what
he's
I'm
not
thinking,
on this card, yeah.
Oh, the next one.
No, he's on the same night. Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz, the UFC fighters that were boxing.
He's on that.
They're having an event. He's on that card.
Oh, he's on that. Yeah. Okay. Good. I was going to say if he's on this card, I see that Angel Man Freddie Floyd build up there, but it's okay. Never mind. All right, taking that back.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for saying that. Thanks for the correction, Clay, because I had a misunderstanding there.
For sure. But yeah, man. Abdullah Mason, how do you feel about the way he's been how he's been brought up right now? I know the last time he fought, you were like you ready to see him in the ring with a little bit better competition. You were kind of like you like him, but you were kind of disappointed in the competition they were putting in front of him. Do you still feel that way, or do you feel like they're moving him accordingly?
No, I think I think they're moving him right. I think what I was saying about that is I think they should just get him out of the light. When I say his competition before, I was talking about the people in the bottom of the mop bucket, not the people that not the people that you scrubbing off the mop bucket, like the bottom.
Right.
I think he's gradually moved up out of there. I think he's outside the mop bucket now, about the you know what I mean, show some better contention.
Okay.
Like I said, he's in the 8 rounds now, so that means just competition is stepping up. I think they just the way they talk about him and with the eye test, I think the kid is ready for the next stage. Right. I don't think we push him too far. What I mean is, I think he's ready for these B level fighters and B plus level fighters, maybe even A minus fighter. But I think we move him slow and get him there. He was fighting like basically D and C fighters for quite some time. And I just think that he was just too good for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think now it's time to move him accordingly because he's shown promise. He passed all the eye tests. We have to see his chin tested. I don't think we've seen that yet, right? We have to see his dynamic, his rebound. We have to see his adversity. We have to see all these things happen. And I'm not saying it's going to happen at this fight, you know what I mean? But I want to see him get to that level where he's confident enough, like, okay, you know what? Word. You know what I mean? Now I'm about to show you what I can do to somebody that's at with a name or somebody that has a competitive status.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when you see Abdullah Mason fight, without a doubt, you can picture him in great fights. You can see him across the ring from a Floyd Schofield or a Keyshawn, or you could see him like the eye test. You could see him in all these fights, but also there's a development stage, a developmental stage in every boxer's career, right? And it looks to me, I'm okay with the way they're moving him. You know what I'm saying? I think eventually we are going to see all those things. I think those things are inevitable, and it's, you know, as talented as he is, building his brand is important because you know, they do it for all the great fighters. You know what I'm saying? They build them up. They make him must watch fight. You don't think so?
Here's where I'm going to tell you. So let's look at some of these ages of some of these fighters and some of their careers. Some of these guys are going to be moving out the division. They're going to be, and then his age group. I don't see too many people in his age group or his class. I'll say his class. Let's just look at it that way. His range of fighting. When he starts moving up, there's not going to be too many people there for him to fight. He's going to have a Boots type atmosphere. You know what I mean? Tank only got a few fights left. You know what I mean? Right,
but Mason is also a big dude, so it's very realistic for him to go ahead and go to 140.
He may move to 140. And,
right.
You know
what I'm saying? Like, but when he becomes in demand, when he's in the when his star power gets built up and he becomes must see boxing, the opportunities, whether he has to leave 135 to get to those opportunities or not.
I think they want to give him a belt at one. I think they want to get him a belt at 135 and then
what they want to do. I understand what you're saying, right? Obviously, there's something they got a game. They want him to do certain things, but if what you're saying is that these opportunities leave him and he becomes a Boots Ennis of the division where he can't get those fights for whatever reason, whether it's because the competition's left or whether because people are just plain out ducking him. He can move up to 140 and go get an opportunity the same way Boots can move up to 154 and go get an opportunity if he wanted to. You know what I mean?
But
now
does he get ahead? Does he cut the line though? Is my question. You know what I mean? If he's,
that gets answered in
let's
time.
Let's say he's 15 or 16 and 0. Does he jump the line to go to 140 to get ranked somewhere high where you have fighters already waiting there that people feel maybe better than him or on a par level? And then he sets himself up on fighting somebody that's not a champion, that's a really good fighter, that's waiting in the middle of that division, and show some disappointment to the fans. And then they're looking at him like, yo, he's not. Again, this is where I come. He's not who we said they were. He is who we said he was. You know what I mean? He is human. So we don't want to wait for that. We want to see him a champion. We want to see him defend a couple of times. You know what I mean? Where he's at. Let him do that. Let him defend. Then move up, and then he can get it. You know what I mean? We'll see where he is when he gets to the next levels because he won't be in the middle of that mesh where you have those strong fighters and those people that can cause trouble for him. And then he can get these good fights and show his eliteness against champions in top contention. That's where the situations separate. And we don't want to see him, like you said, they develop him too slow. And then he's 20 and 0, and he only has he's at 140, right? He's getting his first title shot. We don't want to see that, dude. He just, you know what I mean? He skipped the whole division to go, you know what I mean, and not even got an opportunity. We don't want to see that. We want to see him move at a pace where he's getting a shot eventually, even if it's an interim belt. He gets an interim belt, then he can move up. That's just something to show that he has what it takes.
Right. And I guess Schofield and so I gotta talk. I'm gonna ask that question in a minute because it looks like Anonymous put in there once Schofield recovers, I need to see Schofield versus Silva. So Schofield's not in that fight no more. Something's going on with him. He got hurt or something. I don't know. But listen, yeah, I mean, there's an ideal way everybody wants to see Abdullah Mason move in, but the question's always going to be whether or not we sacrifice his developmental stage and letting him just ease into, who he is, and just he's a young guy. How old is he? Like 21 right now? 20 years old?
20.
He's 20 years old, right? He's a young guy. So do we push him? Right now and make these fights happen and all these things that we know he can handle, or do they go ahead and they say, listen, that's coming, he's young, he has plenty of time, we don't feel that pressure, if the camp doesn't feel that pressure, like we don't need to move him like that right now, he's young, if need be, once he gets to that point, we'll go to 140 with him. You see Emiliano Vargas just made a move to 140 his damn self, you know what I'm saying, like he just made a move to 140.
But we was just clowning Emilio Vargas for ducking Mason, right?
I wasn't clowning for that.
I'm just saying we was just clowning him in the chat yesterday. So
right,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like these are the things that get brought up. I think at 20 years old, you know what I mean, he's in a good space. I think we don't want to wait till he's 25 to give him a title shot. We don't want to see him moving up at 25 to 140 and fighting for a title. Yeah, he gets his grown man strength there, or whatever the case may be, but let the dude sizzle a little bit. I'm not saying put him in the ring today against somebody. I'm saying get him a few more fights. You know what I mean? What is his record now? 13-0. Get him to 16-0. You know what I mean? Let's get him into a 10-round fight. You know what I mean? 2 fights there. Then we'll see how he does against a champion, which at that time I think we'll have a lot of movement. You know what I mean? In the next 5-6 fights. He'll have a lot of movement in that division where he has an opportunity to win a title, if not an interim title, and fight in contention for a main title. That's what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? And I think that he can do that. I think he has the ability to do that, and I think he can definitely flourish in the division by doing it. And
right, but that sounds like that's probably the way they're moving with him, right?
Hopefully.
So my question was, are they moving with him correctly? Does anybody have an issue with the way he's being moved? Do they feel like he needs to be moved faster than what he's being moved? Or is it I think he's being moved correctly. I like what they're doing with him, I don't think the family has any issues with the way he's being moved. Yeah. You know what I mean? They seem to be very good with it. They understand like this is it's a marathon, it's not a race. Abdullah Mason is going to be one potentially a face of boxing level fighter. You know what I'm saying? I
just don't want to see the boots thing, man. I don't want to see him beat all these people up. And
you're
then
never
at 135, he doesn't get a fight. He moves to 140, he doesn't get a fight, and then next thing you know, he runs into some trouble because he has to keep moving up to 147 or something. I don't want to see that.
Right, we don't want to see it, but we don't. For me, there's no anxiety in it. He's 20 years old right now. Sure. He's doing well. He's being moved along. He's getting that development that he needs. When we talk about the Boots treatment, we're talking about somebody who's stuck in the division. The Boots treatment that Boots is getting is to a degree, one could argue it's kind of self-inflicted a little bit.
At this point, yes. At this point, but yeah, let's talk about 3 years ago. Was it self-inflicted then? You know
no, 3 years ago, he wasn't part of the conversation.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
Not over who was up there, not over Sean Porter, over Terrence Crawford, over Errol Spence.
They were talking about him. They were talking about him then. And 2 years ago,
they were talking about him, but they weren't.
Clay, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he called out Sean Porter. Sean Porter went to retirement, and he was like, "Nah, I ain't fighting that dude."
Yeah, but he called Sean Porter. He called Sean Porter out on Sean Porter's way out of the game. Sean Porter was looking to get the last couple of big fights he had.
Anyway. He said he wouldn't afford him anyway.
But hear what I'm saying, right? It's a generation. It's just we all know that Boots Ennis just came at the wrong time. Like he's right at the end of these guys where these guys are leaving. He's coming in. That's why these fights weren't put together, because when Boots comes into the game and he's trying to make his movement into the game, I think you're frozen. So something's wrong with his internet. Something's going on over there. At the end of the day, Boots Ennis came in towards the end of these guys' run. Terrence Crawford was planning on making moves to 154. Errol Spence was trying to get up out of 147 and go to 154. Sean Porter was entertaining retirement and just wanted nothing but the biggest fights. So he was looking to fight for the belts. He was looking for legacy. He wasn't looking to give Boots Ennis, a young up-and-coming fighter who has all, who's just a whole lot of trouble for anybody, right? He's not trying to make that happen. That's why Boots was in that situation. And now those fights that he could make happen, those fighters are now at 154. So now he's hanging out at 147, trying to collect these belts and become undisputed. And these fighters doesn't seem to be like they're really trying to fight him. You know what I'm saying? They don't seem like they really want to fight him. He could make a move up to 154 pounds to fight those fighters and get those legacy fights, but he has aspirations for himself and ambitions on becoming an undisputed champion at 147. So in that sense of the word, he's a little bit, it's self-inflicted a little bit, that it doesn't have to be that way for him. And I'm only bringing that up just to bring it full circle, guys, right? To say that Abdullah Mason's not in the same shoes as Boots Ennis. And if he did end up in the same shoes as Boots Ennis, as far as fighters not wanting to fight him, he's a big guy. He looks like he can easily move up to 140 and be competitive up there. Am I bugging, chat? Is that not realistic? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened to Ray Davis, but what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put this link up in here because I'll put it up in there if anybody wants to come up and build with the kid. But yeah, at the end of the day, Abdullah Mason, in my opinion, is he's being moved correctly. I have no problem with the way he's being moved. I have no problem with the fights he's taking. You know what I mean? What did you say? I feel he's going to end up there. Abdullah, what do you mean end up there, Green Villain? End up there where? End up where Boots is at, or end up? Okay, all right, Ray. No doubt. Yeah, but Green Villain, what do you mean you feel he's going to end up there? Like end up where? What do you mean? You let me know. 147 is empty right now of any star-making match up for Boots. Listen. Boots Abdullah is a future boxer, 100%. Boots has, he's made it. Salute, King. How you doing, man?
What do you do, Claymore?
Doing good.
All right.
My sis Rach, always bring a smile on my face to see you in good health and good spirits. How you doing tonight, Queen?
Good, but I did not get an email today, so I'm feeling kind of some type of way, but we'll just let it pass.
Oh.
Yeah, hi. I'm just teasing him. It's not that big of a deal.
No, it is a big deal because I always try to make sure I send that thing out, man. I don't know. Tonight, that's weird. You know what it is? I was tired, and right when I did the little thumbnail and I put this together, I straight up went and took a nap. So I probably rushed, and I thought I sent you.
Dude, it's not. It's okay. I'll get it from you if I like. Yeah. And that's why, like when you start to cook and you guys were talking, like I'd leave it in the comments, but as a mom, I had stuff to do today before I can have free time. So I got free time. Yay.
No doubt. Yeah, we're in the midst of this Abdullah Mason conversation. I look like 4K was going to build on it a little bit. I don't know if you had something.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Let him go.
You good for or?
No, yeah, you can go first real quick. Give me one second.
No doubt. No, do what you do. Yeah, man. Just Rachel, as a trainer, manager, you have that experience and you're familiar with the development. You're familiar with the developing of a fighter, right? Of a young fighter. You saw somebody like Bam Rodriguez. I think you shared with us that you saw him kind of like at a very young age, right? Before he was it Bam we talking about?
Yeah, I think he was like 12, bro. He was like 12.
Right.
Maybe 10, but yeah.
Right. So you see these guys being developed, and I'm sure you've seen Bam come into the game. And I mean, just bringing it to, it's not about Bam, it's about Abdullah Mason. Watching his trajectory and the way he's being developed, is he being developed properly? Should he be fighting better fighters than what he's fighting right now in his career? Or is it perfectly normal for him to be getting matched up the way he's being matched up?
Here's the thing is that, like, one of the things that Top Rank does extremely well is they do, I mean, I guess it's up to you how you look at it, right? It's either you're saying that they're babying the fighter, or they're making sure that they are structured and have the record well enough to get those big fights. It just really depends on how you look at it, because I'm looking at other promotions and they're fighting dogs, like right out the gates. And I'm like, damn, like this guy's been in the war. And I've seen a lot of guys, I mean, they train at top rank, but they're not top rank fighters. But we're looking at guys that are like 12-0, maybe 12-1. But the competition that they're fighting are not easy competitions, and it's war after war after war. I get afraid that these kids are going to be in these wars so early that their career's not going to be very long. So I get I get some, I get the narrative that some people have that's like, hey, we want to see him like tested. But you have to understand, Top Rank's been around for a number of years. And the reason why they have the longevity is because they make sure that their fighters are built all the way up until those big money fights that fans are willing to pay for end up paying.
Right. 100%. 100%. And I think that's valuable for somebody like Abdullah Mason, because he has such a promising career ahead of him. A lot of expectations of him, but taking the time at 20 years old, he's so young. And I'll compare him to, like, let's say like a Shushu Carrington, right? Like Bruce Carrington, who's in the latter, in his late 20s right now. What is he, like 27, 28 years old, 27 years old, something like that. With him, I could see a little bit more of the it's time to start putting him in position to get some title fights. Like, he's in the prime of his career. This is around the time when needs to happen. But even though his record is like 12-0 or something of that nature, his age kind of puts a little bit of pressure on his development. He's been developed well in the amateurs, but his professional career, there may be a little bit of pressure there to know that last year he was a prospect. This year they got Monster Inoue watching him fight. You know what I'm saying? Already. So, but with Abdullah Mason, it seems like at 20 years old, it doesn't seem like there's that much of a need for a rush on his development. Does that make sense?
I agree with you. I didn't say they need to rush him, by the way. And I get what Rachel said is 100%. I just said I'm looking at the eye test, that sometimes you have, like you said, a generational talent that you don't want to see him getting, his spoils getting away from him is what I'm saying. I think he's being moved correctly. I just said I see him moving at a pace where I would like to see him not sitting there with a whole bunch of C-level fighters. He's moving well. He's already in the 8-round fights, which I said it was great.
Right, that's my question to you. That's what my question was. Do you feel like sitting there?
I had an incident, so yeah,
that's what I'm asking. Like, do you feel like presently he's sitting more than he needs to be sitting? Like, he should be moved more aggressively than he's being moved right now?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I never said that. I was just comparing the Keyshawn to him situation, and then we just moved on from it. I just said I would like to see him. I don't want to see him fighting a guy like he fought the last fight. That's what I'm saying. Like, definitely don't want to see that. I'm not saying he needs to really like go out there and push who's in the division that I would even say, like, I don't want to see him fighting nobody like crazy. I wouldn't even want to see him fighting the Cambosis right now. I'm not saying he can't beat Cambosis, but I just think that level, and that's a really knock on boxing, just to bring that guy up in this conversation. Mm-hmm. But that guy has championship experience, so that changes things. I wouldn't want to see him fight that, like Williams Zepeda. I wouldn't want to see him fight that. You know what I mean? Experience makes a difference in certain fights, but I think there are a level of fighters in his area where he can put on a performance that we say, yo, he did that with these guys. He's doing it with this guy too, and I think that's what I want to see. I'm not saying I want to see him over here yet. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to cross the median too far. Where'd Rachel go?
I think she was having a connection. She probably gonna switch over to her laptop. I bet you.
Okay. Yeah. But no, that's what I was getting at. That's all. But all due respect though, like I have no big differences with that. What you were saying, Clay. I was just talking about how the eye test we don't want to see him held back too long. I don't want to see him at 23 still at 135 and not even being mentioned in the top 5. That's what
100%,
I'm saying.
100%.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and 23 is 3 years, 2.5 years. Let's say two
Right.
2.5 years or so away. I hope that we don't see that too. And I'm betting that we're not going to see that. I'm betting that we're going to see him in the position he needs to be in. Like I said, he has great people around him, smart people around him outside of Baba Aram, being top rank, and being the one kind of orchestrating where his career is going. He also has some smart dudes around him. So I think he's been developed great, man. I think he's on the right trajectory, and I'm happy somebody like Abdullah Mason is with, to be honest with you, is with Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? Top Rank just has that history of developing their fighters well. They do. And I'm happy to see him over there with his career. You know what I'm saying? There she is. She was on camera for a hot second, and then she was like, nope, not on camera today. Salute, Hood Rich. What's good with you, family? Your 4K was good, man. I know I had you. You still doing your thing. I understand. I just want to make. I just don't want you. I didn't forget you. I'm just.
No. You good.
Okay.
I'm in agreement with y'all been saying so far, and it's crazy. The game plan that Rachel was talking about that they do for Top Rank is similar to how Floyd ended up building Tank, but he gets criticized for it though, about with the amount of competition that he hasn't faced, but he built them up to the point to where he's at those big money fights, and now for him it's that time for him to start fighting the competition that he's supposed to be fighting and things like that. So the same thing with Carmel Moden is going on. Like, you see the last fight he was in, I seen a lot of people on Twitter say the other day that he won a lot of those rounds and things like that, but for my eyes it was a tough fight. That was a young kid that had some pop on his punch too, and they traded a couple of times. So now Camille is fighting another guy. I mean, Camille put on Twitter today, he said that a couple of undefeated guys didn't want to see him, and there were some more guys, like they went through a lot of names and nobody really wanted to see him, and he thanked the guy that was giving him the opportunity. And I think that guy might be sort of a journeyman. So I don't have an issue when they're early in their careers. I mean, below 15 to 17 fights, building the numbers up, as long as it's still like a journeyman, as long as they're gaining experience and it's adding to their career, I don't see an issue with it. And when you start to move up and get a little bit older and things like that, then you need to be, fighting guys that are around your age and stuff like that. So
no doubt, man. Definitely salute. Yo, salute to Bruce Gas Boxing in the building. Salute. No doubt. Yo, Hood Rich, what's good with you, family? What's on your mind,
What's
brother?
Good, man. What's good?
And you know what it is. We talking about this boxing, man. You know how we carry it.
Yeah, man. Who y'all was talking about? Mason. That man's special, man.
Yeah, but let me ask you the question though. If you didn't hear it, and I'm definitely interested in your opinion on it. How do you feel about his development so far? Do you feel like he's getting the right kind of fighters in front of him? Do you think they're babying him too much? Should they be raising the competition up, or is the way he's being developed the right way? Does it make sense, or are they holding him back?
It's like a tug of war, like 50-50, because he's still young, but I feel like he should be like at least fighting like people that's in like the top 20, top 30 at least. You feel me? But I feel like he came. Yeah. I feel like he made the transition well though.
Right. I think it just helps him, right? In my opinion, it just helps him. It just benefits him to be, and he comes from that, like I said, the people around him, the way he's being trained. Some people develop in the ring more than you develop in the gym, if that makes any sense, in my opinion. Like some people need that level of competition so they can get better. Whereas like Abdullah Mason, although the competition that he's going against, he's running through them, I'm very confident that the way he's being trained by his father and his brothers, I think he's getting that development outside the ring in a way to where it's not necessary as it is for other fighters to be in front of killers every time he gets in the ring, if that makes any sense. Like some guys in the ring, and the easier the fight you keep giving them, it kind of stunts them. Like they don't get better because they're not fighting better fighters. Whereas Abdullah Mason seems like, he's going to continue to get better because he's that disciplined and passionate about his about what he does. You know what I'm saying? About his craft, and his family's passionate like that. He has a whole family around him, brothers and a father, and he also has that Muslim faith, which people sleep on how vital that disciplined faith, that structure that faith provides him, just makes him a humble fighter who's always getting better outside the ring. And clearly will get better as the competition gets better for him as well. But the necessity of the level of competition being so high isn't so paramount for fighters like Abdullah Mason. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think you're saying the same thing I was just stating. Like everything I'm saying is exactly what you're saying. I don't think he's, like I said, I don't think he should be at the elite pool. No, absolutely. But he damn sure don't need to be in the kiddie pool. You know what I mean? No. That's my point. And
like in the middle.
Yeah, like a little bit more over the middle. You know what I mean? Like
right. Yeah.
Teenage
that's what the question is, and I think you answered it already, so I'm not going to keep pushing the question. But is he in the kiddie pool? Are they keeping him there too long right now? Are they keeping him in the kiddie pool, or is where he's at okay? Like he's being moved the right way. We see the development, and we see why they're doing what he's doing, and why they're doing what they're doing with him, and it's okay that they're doing that. Or are they holding him back from his potential by keeping him in the kiddie pool too long?
I feel like he should, like, they should step up the competition, but Top Rank is known for that. Like, you feel me? Like they been doing that, and like I feel like they don't want to put him in a real big fight yet, or a risky fight yet, because I forgot the man name. I think his name was like Daniel or something. And like they did the same thing with him, and he lost bad though, like bad.
Right. I mean, there's risk in it. Like I said, the wrong fighters, especially the fighters who aren't really who are drinking the Kool-Aid, right? Who are knocking everybody out, like Edgar Berlanga, for example. Hey, salute Bayani De La Cruz. Salute. Like I said, like Edgar Berlanga, who drank the Kool-Aid a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Or some might argue Gary Antoine Russell might argue it, right? To say like, he's getting all these knockouts, and it seems like, the development got hurt because of it, right? Like the success of knocking everybody out and beating everybody down that way seems like the development suffered, right? And when Edgar Berlanga got in front of somebody who wasn't just going to fade to black in front of him, you know what I'm saying? Who was like, nah, I'm not going nowhere. I mean, that's good what you just did, but no, we fighting, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not going down and I went down, I'm getting back up. We going to keep on fighting.
You're talking about McCrory?
Huh?
You're talking about McCrory?
Oh, the fighter who Edgar Berlanga fought?
Edgar Berlanga? Yeah, the last one he fought was McCrory.
No, not that fight. I'm talking about the first fight he had that didn't end in the stoppage. I'm talking about when he went on that 19 or 16 or 17 fight knockout.
Oh, Nicholson.
Yes. And he got in front of Nicholson, and
he from Baltimore too.
Yeah, he got knocked on his ass in that fight, and he was looking up at that dude like, "What the hell?" And you can see
Nicholson.
It looked like he didn't know where to go with it, and then to the point where he was so uncomfortable with the competition, he started doing dirty shit, right? Biting people, and like he started reacting like somebody would react with like a cat backed into the corner, like a mouse. He started like reacting off like, you know what I mean? Like he didn't know how to deal with it. So sometimes fighters suffer from the lack of competition because their development happens in the ring. It happens in the fights that they're getting. They're not developing the right way because their team and them think that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So yeah, man, what we're doing is working. And they're not developing. They drank the Kool-Aid. Like my minimum is enough.
I don't think that's the thing with Gary Russell though. I think that Gary Russell had ring rust. And you can see.
I don't think so either. But I'm saying people would argue that because when you see his record, right?
Yeah,
when you see him
with the 18 knockouts,
100% knockout, and then you see him get in the ring with Alberto Puello, the first thing comes to mind is, see, he wasn't tested properly when he met his first test. Right?
But Puello good though, like he really good, bro.
Right.
Oh, come on, you already know. I know.
I don't even. Yeah. I think that was part of it. The ring rust. I think it was more so him not ever using his jab to fight. He always been a one-forward, knock you out person. He never separated himself and measured up. He never used the measurement. stick. You know what I mean? All he was
Ray. Does that feed into my argument? Then does that feed into like, is he the type of person who, until he needs it, he's not working on it, he's not using it?
Right? No, what you said.
You're supposed to always use it,
what
though.
you said about development is 100%, absolutely. And I think Mason eye test is he shows that he has tangibles. The intangibles. He shows us that he has the skill set. I'm not saying that he can't go out there and he can't lay an egg. I mean, any fighter at any given day can have a bad night. We don't all win the lottery, you know what I mean? So we understand that. But what we have to see is that this guy's a generational talent, and him fighting. I mean, I think this guy's a legitimate a fighter for him. This upcoming fight, you know what I mean?
What's his record?
Who? Abdullah?
Yeah, no. I just read it off. I think it was 20.
Weird that it's
too long.
And
5 losses or something like that.
He's like 25 wins, 5 losses,
and 1 draw.
Yeah.
What's the knockout ratio?
12, 13 knockouts, something like that. 16 knockouts.
You gonna stop him?
I mean, like, we just literally saw Teofimo fight someone who had 7 losses and couldn't put him on his ass.
I agree.
Yeah. So
and this guy's never been knocked out either.
But Tio known for that though. Tio, he fight to the level of his competition. So, and a loss ain't a bad thing. Like, a loss is not the end of your career. You feel me? So like when like
early.
Yeah,
No, 100%. I just think like what they do is they get you excited for prospects, right? And they build a fan base because we know how boxing is. We're very temperamental. We will shit on a fighter within seconds. So if they get to see a fighter that's on the undercard, watch him build, support him continuously, and then he fights a level up, then at least he's not going to fall too far back, right? Like if you sign a fighter that's 5-0 and then you put him in a dogfight, he loses. They're like, well, he was no one anyway, right? So it really is about, like I said, like the long-term plan with these fighters. And I think someone who's 20 you're just such a baby in the sport. Like there's going to be so much opportunity. And I think that, I've always said this, I think that the crowd base of boxing, we are entitled little bitches. We fucking are. Like, we're like, we don't care. We want this. I don't care who has to pay $500 million. You're going to show up and fight. Like,
exactly.
So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Exactly.
So he has to do what's good for him. And if he honestly believes that Top Rank is moving him the correct way and he's not complaining, then I don't have any complaints. Like, these guys make these decisions.
No, I think they're doing right with him. I was just saying, like, I don't
fight damn near every month.
Yeah, I don't want to see him on a platform where I didn't say Top Rank was doing it. I said I don't want to see him fighting, like, staying on this path for another 3 years or 2 years.
Right.
I think what they did with Keyshawn, and this is me going back to that, I think they moved him with 10 fights, but it's been like it took him forever to literally get these 10 fights. This guy's been fighting, since 2022? I mean, I know that's 2 years. No, he's been fighting longer than that. Why am I tripping? Anyway, no. I'm talking about Keyshawn. And we were making a comparison, but I think they moved him like a little slower. So I think when he meets that first person that's really a threat to him, I think he's going to really struggle and I don't want to see that happen to Mason. That's what I'm getting at, because I've seen certain things they move. Like, I've seen certain ways they move with fighters, and I've seen fighters get upset or beat on their side because of that.
So that's a negotiation problem then, because like if you sign with a promoter, even as a prospect, you should know as many times a year that you're going to fight. But I have seen ones where they test you and basically like, hey, come fight on our promotion. We're going to give you this much. And in like the 6th paragraph, there is if you win the fight, we have exclusive right to promote your next 3 fights at the exact same term and agreement of what you just agreed to.
There was a rumor, Rachel, that's the type of deal that Ryan was in with Golden Boy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Ryan's contract, but I mean, I've seen it, especially like me opening my my channels out to anybody that wants me to look at their contract. I've seen it all at this point, right? And And I've told them, I'm like, I wouldn't do that. Like, I mean, if anything, say that they have the right to the next fight exclusively. But besides that, no. Like, there's no, from what I've seen, there's no time keep on the next 3 fights, quote unquote.
Yeah, I agree.
And all they have to do is, let's just say that you were fighting for 1,000 rounds. That's all they have to offer you. They don't have to actually offer you anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like another thing, like, and then like you got fighters that's like gym fighters that's only good in the gym, but man, like it's crazy, man. Like boxing is like when you really get down to the nitty gritty, boxing is the shiestiest business ever, bro. Shiesty.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have a lot of pretenders. Like, I couldn't tell you, a couple weeks ago, we had guys that were sparring, and this guy stepped into the ring. He was already in the ring before I got there, so he was supposed to be a ref. And eventually I texted one of our guys. I go, who the hell was in the ring? And he goes, oh, this guy. I go, who is he? He's like, oh, he just works at a gym. I go, you had a guy that wasn't a referee, because the problem was, what I was having issues with was that he wasn't protecting the fighters. Like, they'd get in, literal headlocks, others, and we're talking about a really high ring, like the top rank ring. So you could fall out if you don't break up the fight, and the guy's ass is pretty much halfway out of the ropes. So I'm looking at the protection and safety of the fighters. He'll say break, but not really be in the middle. And then the other fighter will get hit, which, of course, is his fault. But when you have a third person in the ring, you have like a false expectation of security that someone's going to handle the sparring, right? That it's going to be a fair sparring, or someone's at least going to. He didn't. And so I told Nonito, I go, hey, so I talked to this person. He said he's just a gym trainer, which is fine. I'm not trying to knock that. I was like, but he wasn't paying attention to the fighters. He wasn't keeping the safety for both fighters. So I don't care. Next time he comes, he's not stepping in the ring. Like, we've had guys like Kenny Bayless that would come in and be like, hey, I want to practice. I want to get my rounds in, and of course him. But to have someone that really doesn't know how to ref, and possibly might have like a gym loyalty to, one of the sparring partners, like it's all BS. And I told Nonino, I was like, nope, next time I'm telling him to get out of the ring. We don't need him. So you have a lot of those fake people in boxing, that you just have to wade through the waters, literally. Just think that, every snake that you come by is poisonous at this point.
100%.
Facts.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Yep.
Yeah, the development of these fighters are important, man. What's happening outside the ring holds a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? What's happening inside the ring. And with some fighters, you can tell, like, not to beat a dead horse, but with Teofimo, I think he suffered for taking that hiatus outside of boxing and playing that retirement game and pricing himself out of certain opportunities in certain fights, because he clearly hasn't been getting development outside the ring. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been getting that development outside the ring. So one could argue that his lack of development in the ring hurt him, because he doesn't have that foundation like an Abdullah Mason has, where he has that training. The people around him are keeping him honest, or being honest with him and training him in all aspects of the game. Even if he doesn't need it now, they understand that down the line, the importance of these traits are going to be the difference makers in the biggest fights of his life, and that the way he won, his first couple of fights ain't going to be necessarily the way he wins his biggest fights. That he'll have to tap into the tool bag and pull out all types of things that he should have been working on, that they don't have to teach him now. And all of a sudden, oh man, we got to add this thing to your regimen because that thing you was doing back in the day ain't working with these top 5, top 10 fighters in the game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think Abdullah gets that. I think he gets that kind of support, and he gets that type of outside attention, that, him fighting these fighters and laying them out quick. He's not sitting in the kiddie pool, proverbial kiddie pool too long. He's actually just being developed and building a crazy highlight reel, and building a crazy, highlight reel for the world to be like, I want to see this man fight.
Clay, is T.O. because I heard what you said. It caught me when you say that T.O. is not developing anymore. Is it the fact that he's not? I mean, basically, I was about to say the same thing you saying. Maybe it's his dad, the reason that he can't go up to the next level. Just having somebody around you who's not being honest with you and things like that. So,
or who just doesn't have who don't got the pedigree to get you there. Who just don't got the, you know what I mean? Just don't got that pedigree and training to get him where he needs to be.
And to touch on what both of you just said, because Clay mentioned that same thing yesterday, Kay. I think it's when you stop listening to your trainer, which is your dad, because you think he's being annoying or just saying stuff that you don't want to listen to anymore, shows you that you're not buying into what he's got to teach you, and you learn what you already learned, and you're going to fight the way you want to fight regardless of what he says. Yes, they do need somebody else in that corner to help develop him and move him into different categories of boxing. I agree with both of you on that.
I think like it just depends on the relationship between father and son. You know, I can't name one right now that was absolutely, you know, gorgeous, but I think that I have seen trainers and fighters that are not related, and you know, and that's the fun part of like sparring at Top Rank. Like you see everything, and the fighter's fighting, the trainer's yelling at him to do something. He's like, "I did do that," or "No, I tried it. He stepped on my foot." You know, like they're talking back to their trainer, you know, in a very disrespectful tone. And I of course, like, I don't comment on it. I don't. If they're right next to me and like, because once they get out of the ring, especially, so they're talking to each other while they're sparring. That's one. Everyone in the gym's hearing it. And then after they step out of the ring, of course, they're still going at it. And if I'm right next to them, dude, I exit left. I'm like, I don't want to be any part of this. Like, don't be like, hey, did you think, like, no, leave me out of this. This between you and him. But if you don't respect your trainer to any degree, not even just as, like, because you shouldn't be a father in that boxing gym, right? You shouldn't be a son in that boxing gym. But what I'm saying is that even without that familial connection, there still needs to have a level of respect for your trainer. And if you don't, then why is he your trainer?
Exactly.
And I agree with you.
Just hold on 1 second before you. Let me just let Rachel get her love. Bayani Dela Cruz says, Rachel, I'm a big fan. Onita was a big inspiration for me growing up. You know what I mean? Let me get that.
I appreciate that.
Future boxer in the building. That's dope. Besides Hood Rich, of course. Salute to him too. Listen, salute, bro. I'm giving you
salute, bro. Salute.
Pop Shop just mentioned something too, like with that whole thing I just said about Tio and his father and things like that. Yes, is them rewarding him the wins on the victories that he should have suffered a loss. Is that helping? Is that helping him?
No,
or that's not setting him back. And I mean, he knows it mentally, but as long as they keep rewarding him for it, it's like giving a participation trophy. You know what I mean? He's getting out there and he's just continuing to win, even though he lost to himself or bad performance.
Ray, is it fair to say that? And that's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Because some fighters walk away knowing they lost, even though they got the win, and they go and improve. They're like, yo, they're honest. When you have them honest people around you, yeah, we're gonna take that win. But when we get back to the gym, we're gonna keep it 100 with you. Like, bro, you already know. That wasn't it. That was not it.
Right.
But then you got those other ones where it's like, yeah, man, he was winning. They just feed into the nonsense, and then the guy develop because they're not keeping it 100 with him. And I think Teofimo looks like, from the outside looking in, it looks like he suffered from that.
Right.
And like that right there, from what I witnessed, this like 5 years ago when Tank sparred Tio, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. That was the perfect impression on Teofimo Senior, because they gave me like, all right, we got all the belts. We ain't got nothing to prove. We don't got to work hard no more. That's how that was they like language to me. Like that's how I looked at them and all that, because it's certain stuff like they'll do, and they know it's not right. Like it's not the boxing lifestyle, but they get away with it because of who we fight. You feel me? Like stuff like that, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think when you look at, you know, I don't want to shit on him because, you know, I'm a fan of him, but he, you know, just I don't want to say a waste of talent, but Adrian Broner, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, allowed to kind of live a certain way outside of the ring, and because he's getting these results, and you know, he's got this natural talent, and he's developed so well, not committing to the process and knowing like, yo, bro, you still haven't fought the biggest fight of your life yet. You're on the road to being him, but you're not him yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you definitely have the attributes, and we see the eye test says that you got him qualities, but you're not him.
Right.
You're not him yet. We still
got
to work in that gym. Yeah. When you look at Tank, no matter how
you learn from all that.
Right. No matter how it looks from the outside looking in that maybe he's, you know, he's swagged out too much, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's not, but in the gym, he's dead serious about his craft. And not only is he dead serious about his craft, but the people around him are dead serious about his craft.
Loyalty, man. Like, loyalty is everything over there.
Yeah, they keep him humble, and they keep him, like when you heard Tank talk at the end of that Frank Martin fight in the post conference, and they were trying to get him, man, you just did this great thing with Frank Martin, and you know what I mean? How do you feel? Do you feel like you're finally, and he was like, yo, I would, but I gotta get ready for this next one, man. So what do you want me to say? He was real, like he pulled all the fire out of it. Like the reporter was really trying to juice his head up, and he just let the reporter know, like, yeah, but at the same time, nah, because I got to get ready for this other dude, and that's a whole nother thing I got to get ready for. Now, a lot of fighters, it takes a lot of discipline, especially with that kind of success, with everybody come face of boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to let your head go, and you know, he seems like he has that right balance around him. Like, yeah, you all right, man, but chill. We got to still get in the gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like
you still got a little bruise on your cheek, bro. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
If you notice though, like if you notice, you only hear from him when it's a fight coming up. He don't, like, bro. That's one of the persons I see. I'm like, bro, how you don't get caught up in it? Like, how, like, you feel me? Like, how you just don't, like, he don't even be on Instagram. That shit crazy.
He had a moment in his career though, right? Like, he had a moment in his career where he was kind of falling for a little bit, where he kind of didn't handle it well, right? So he had that experience as well. And you know, missing weight and losing that title that time, you know what I'm saying? And those little things, you know what I mean, were experiences for him that were vital for him, I think. And I think having the right people around him to properly help him through that and help him understand, like, you know, I could just see Calvin Ford being like, yeah, man, you made a mistake, man, but you good. Don't let it get you down. But you see now why I be on you the way I be on you, and why I want you to move a certain way. And that relationship that he had with Calvin from 7 years old or however old he was when Calvin was working with him, gave Calvin the credibility with Gervonta for him to take it only the right way, which was, yeah, man.
That's what I was going to ask you, because love can be a blinding thing. Right. Love can be a very blinding thing when it comes to a father and his son in a combat sport. And it could be a destroyer of sorts. So I was going to say, is it better for boxers to find a mentor who's sort of like a father figure instead of just, you know, sticking with their father for their whole career? Because your father can take you so far until like, I mean, some father and son duos like a Floyd and his father, Floyd Sr., or him and his uncle Roger, that worked out. But eventually you saw it get a little bit volatile because their game plan wasn't working out. They started arguing, and then Roger, the uncle, took over. And maybe it's just the dynamics of those relationships and things like that, where love gets in the way. Some people can take the criticism from their father, and some people can't. And then when you start bumping heads and stuff like that, but you're also keeping them as your trainer, it may determine the trajectory or downfall of your career.
Yo, you hit it right on the nail, brother. Like, you talking that real shit right now. I kind of want to add to it what he's saying a little bit, but I know everybody else want to build.
Good.
I'll be quick and fast just to say it like this, right? The reason why some fighters, in my opinion, are very receptive to that criticism in comparison to other fighters is because you can tell Tank's ass didn't get kissed his whole way up. You know what I mean? Like, he was prepared by the way they trained him and growing up. You know what I mean? At 7 years old, being trained that way, he knows how to receive. Look how humble he was with Floyd Mayweather, even though you can clearly see with hindsight, Floyd Mayweather was getting on his last damn nerve, right? Like, you could see with hindsight, Floyd was annoying him in so many ways, but never did you see Tank pull away from Floyd. When Floyd had those weird conversations where he's sitting there talking to him, Tank would have his hands by his side and just be looking at him and just taking in the information. Floyd screaming on the side like, yo, you need to show these guys all this stuff he was doing. He never pushed back. He never was like, you know what I mean? He stayed disciplined. Right. And now that he's no longer dealing with Floyd, now he has no problem communicating. Yeah, that dude was talking way too much back then.
Absolutely. What's up, Sean?
That dude was giving me so many issues back then. So yeah, man, it's the way they're raised up. You could see somebody like, let's say, Tio, whose father let him, yeah, you the champ, man. You know what I mean? So Tio he'll argue with his father. You know what I'm saying? He'll be like, yo, chill. He'll argue with his father. Or even Adrian Broner, who might push back, or Chris Colbert, that we got to see. He have a fit in the corner with his trainers. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you worry, watch what I'm gonna do. Watch what I'm gonna do. They're like, hey, shut up, stop talking back. I need you to listen to me, bro. Stay the fuck off those ropes. And then what happened? Clip the next round, right? So that's what you see in a Tank Davis, is the fact that as swagged out as he is, once again, iced out as he is, fly as he is, funny as he is, when it comes to the business, he's been trained to be about that business.
Yep.
He's been from a young age. He doesn't have to adjust. He knows how to carry himself when it's fight time. You know what I mean? Calvin one time spoke, and I'm gonna give the floor back to the room. But Calvin once spoke about how him and Tank don't even talk as much as people think they talk until it's time to get ready for a fight. Mm-hmm. He said, "Yeah, man, I let the youngin do his thing for like, you know, we might not talk for like a month and a half. I don't even know what I'm saying. But when it comes time to fight, he dials in. Tank dials in, and he's ready. And it's no love lost. There's no like, it doesn't mean, some people might hear them like, oh man, that means you and Tank don't even got a relationship. How could y'all go a month without talking? Nah, that's not what it is. It's when it's time for the business and for the work, we dial in. And
everybody video of those puppies when the military vet come back home and they open that door and that puppy run outside right up to that vet, like he never missed a day and everything. That's the type of relationship it might be.
Right.
Dead in his eyes when it's time to work. Looking dead in his eyes and they know what time it is. You connect with somebody like that, and it's hard to break bonds like that.
Yep. Salute, Sean. What's up, bro? I know you got something to say.
What up? Yeah.
Salute, Sean.
Yeah. Well, salute. Yeah. You're just chiming in on that. You know, we talking about one of my favorite fighters in Tank. And let me put this out there. One thing I'll say is, I like fighters. You know, I'll never lie on a fighter or lie for a fighter, but I do like fighters. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it'd be a waste of time if you don't. You know what I mean? If you follow the sport but don't like any fighters. But going back to what y'all was saying, one of the things that really resonated with me when it came to Tank was in the build up in the little pre-show when he was fighting Frank Martin, and he was talking about Ryan Garcia, and he was talking about he had a little bit of fear, you know, just from watching him knock people out. And when I saw that, I was like, all right, I can respect that, because it's good to be confident, but to have a healthy fear so that you understand where the dangers are. You know what I mean? Versus going in there cocky and getting beat, right? Like, I don't mean to bring this up, but I think if Devin had that same thought process to think, hey, this dude can clip me with a left, he could have fought a better fight. So to me, being humble and understanding and respecting your opponent is something that, you know what I mean, which is what Floyd does. Floyd did. Floyd would talk a lot of shit and say, oh, I don't watch tape, or I don't do this. But no dude that trains that hard and is that devoted doesn't have a healthy fear of what the outcome could be. You know what I'm saying? And I got my own theory. I don't buy that he don't watch tape. I don't buy that shit at all. But that's just me.
Yeah, I think he might watch tape, but I think I think Floyd, when you look at the whole Floyd dynamic with the relationship he had with Roger and his father, he had people around him that he had trust in, just like Tank to a degree, right? Like people who he had faith in studying the tape for him and communicating to him what he needed to watch out for and work with him on what he needed to work on. You know what I'm saying? To be ready for that fight. Some fighters have that great foundation to where all they have no problem letting go when it comes to training camp, right? And letting everybody around them who has their job do their job, and he can focus on doing his job, which is being the best fighter he can be on the night of the fight. You know, the best fighter he can be in the best condition he can be in, and taking and listening and taking heed to everything that's being said. I can remember as much as Floyd argued with his father, with Senior, I'll never forget that one fight. Who was it? Was it against Miguel? No, who was it? Was it against Arturo Gotti? No, it wasn't. I don't remember who it was. But Floyd told his father, hey, man, I want to let you know I was always listening to you. You've always been the biggest influence in my life. You know what I'm saying? I love you. Like, that was a powerful scene right there, because it just showed you how dialed in when it comes to fighting, how dialed in Floyd was. Like, yeah, you might see me argue with my pops. You might even see me when I threw him out the gym, and you might think there's this dysfunction there, but don't get it twisted. There is dysfunction there, but there ain't no dysfunction when it comes to the business of boxing in his family. We all dial in when it comes time to making these fights happen and getting the results we want, and that's important for these fighters.
Frequent's in the back. Rachel wants the mic, and just to let you know that I think that was the De La Hoya fight when he crossed corners. So his dad crossed corners, and he went across and talked to his dad about the fight. If I'm not
that wasn't the scene. His father was actually cornering him.
Oh, he's cornering him. Then that might have been that could have been after Man Freddy. Who would he fight after Man Freddy? It was before he went to. Wow, that's before he took that hiatus. I can't think right now. I'll think about it. I think I know who you're talking about, though.
It was like in the last round, like the last round or two, when Floyd Senior was basically saying, "Let's bring it home." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I remember that.
I'm listening. He's like, "I got you. I'm listening. I want you to know I've always listened to you. You've always been my biggest hero." You know what I'm saying? He let him know, like, just let's clear this up. We've had our differences, but I want you to know you've always been in my ear. I've always taken you seriously. I always know who you've been in my life. Right. Thank you for it.
Right. All right. Go ahead, Rachel. Mike is yours.
Nonito just got home, so I want to spend time with him. Babe, say hi to Clayton.
Yo, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
What's going on?
No needles,
man. Just doing something outside of boxing. You know, doing some business calls, business meetings, and all that stuff. You know, you gotta learn how to do the whole thing, man.
I seen you calling the guy out on Twitter a day or two ago.
Ooh.
Oh, Sonny.
I'll call everybody out. Shoot, man. I want some good fights, bro. That's it.
Where's that contact? You know? Y'all were gonna send.
Shit, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you know, they called me out. I'm gonna call them back up. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. You know, I'll fight anybody. That's always been me. I love the fight game.
Absolutely, love the energy, brother.
Yep.
I appreciate you guys, man.
Always.
Yo, no, salute, Nonito. Appreciate the talking. It looks good on my channel. How you pop up right quick.
Look, you got a fan in the building too, by the way. First time we seen him here. He's a huge fan. So
beyond
there's a fan in the chat.
Oh, dope. Hey, man. Big shout out to you guys out there, the fans, man. You know, just be real and just that's always been me. You know what I mean? I fight everybody, and this is why either you like me or not, but I always fight anybody. You know, you can. Yeah, I mean that's just I live in the old school mentality.
Word.
No doubt.
You know, that's it. You know, you beat me, okay, that's cool. Let's do it again. You know,
it is.
That's it. That's it, man.
Hey, but everybody out there, hit that like and subscribe button, man. To my man over here. All right, much love.
Much love, Nonito. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, bye guys.
Thank you.
Talk to you guys. We'll be in the chats, but yeah, I gotta, spend time.
No, you gotta do.
Bye guys.
All right, thank you. Frequent Flyer in the building.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, my bad. Flyer Frequency.
How you doing, Frequent?
I'm good, man. How y'all?
Pretty
man. We good. We building, man. We doing. By the way, salute to the panel. The panel is just, that's what I'm talking about, man. And, you know, I love that we're able to all be in this space, talk on boxing, agree, disagree, move forward. I love it. And you know what I'm saying? I love that it's happening on my channel or our channel, me and my co-host's channel. You know what I'm saying? I love that it happens here. You know what I'm saying? I love that it happens here. Other channels, it can happen as well. I've seen good conversations on other channels, but I'd like to think that, you know, it's a little special spot over here where everybody built on boxing, and the needle, I would hope, gets moved in the right direction for whoever, you know what I mean, watches and rewatches later on, you know what I mean, knows that boxing is a great sport, bro. And this is how it's supposed to happen, just like this, man.
Conversations.
Right.
Yeah.
Conversations.
Most definitely. Yo, I wanted to hop up here and give Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin they flowers, man. Tank got the best corner in boxing, man. And, well, the rest of his team too, because they always make sure that nobody getting over on Tank, you know what I'm saying, before the fight and negotiations and all of that stuff. And then they always come up with a great game plan for Tank, you know. They study their opponent, you know, do their homework and everything, and they always got an answer for, you know, whatever it is that that fighter brings to the table. So shout out to them, man. You know, I think he got the best corner in boxing. Bud is second. You know what I'm saying? With
that's frequent talking.
Yeah, that's frequent. What's up, Hood Rich?
That's frequent talking like that.
This is where it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen here. That's where it's gonna happen.
Frequent talking like that, though. Oh my God!
The whole
man.
We're frequent.
Look at Sean. Look, Sean, like, what is going on right now?
Hey man, I always rock with Coach Calvin and Senior, all of them over there, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but that's real talk though. I think Tank got the best corner in boxing, and he got the best team as far as, you know, the ones who handle his business. You know.
Man, I'm glad you see that, man, because a lot of people, they be like, oh, he slapped this on him, he slapped that on him. Man, we ain't been safe, but we been cautious, man.
Yeah.
No doubt. Hey, yo, can I just want to address something real quick here. Shout out to Adam Olsen, you know what I'm saying? Adam Olsen, salute, man. You know what I mean? You put a comment in here. You can thank Fanon. He's the only reason I subscribe. Well, that's not a good enough reason, bro. You should probably unsubscribe, bro, and you don't need to be a tool holster. You know what I'm saying? for another man like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy.
Be here for boxing. You know what I'm saying, for the conversation and participate and contribute to the conversation. You don't have to be on your job. I don't know if you're getting like an hourly wage or like a bonus to hold somebody else's tool while they're sleeping in their bed and dealing with their wife, and you're here volunteering your time to make sure that the whole world knows about the reason you're here.
I need my tools held sometimes.
Yeah, look, you know what I'm saying? He's a professional tool holster. So, you know what I mean? Enjoy the content, you know what I mean, on boxing and walk away with that instead of being on assignment and wasting your time at midnight carrying out the assignment to hold somebody's tool professionally. Yeah. Salute to you for being part of the channel, though.
Took it straight for your boy. Oh, shit.
Well, you know, these guys, they take their time. Every now and then we can address them. I usually try to ignore them, but every now and then they come in here and they want the attention, so you give it to them sometimes. But for the most part, you know, Adam, we usually don't even pay no attention, right? Tell the truth. There you go. Yeah, back to the conversation.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about interrupting you guys, man. Go ahead, man.
But I ain't gonna lie, man. That July 6th card, that's a good card, man.
Yeah.
Low key, that's a good card, man.
I already put that together well. Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody gonna get upset too, man. I don't think it's Shakur though.
Right. To the panel though, can I just say this? Can we mention that PBC last year putting on those great cards at the end of the year, trying to load those cards up, has forced boxing to put great cards out this year?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think that they've definitely played the cards right, and I think we're getting great cards all around boxing every month, and then we're getting great fights every month. It's crazy.
Hey, we ain't gonna forget about Turkey though.
Well, he's part of
Turkey Al-Sheikh. He was going hard in the paint. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning of the year, man.
He got one coming up August 3rd. He's still going hard in the paint. Right. He got a crazy card coming up August 3rd, bro.
Indeed.
I mean, yeah, give him his flowers too. You know what I mean? He killed the end of the year with the heavyweight battle. You know what I mean? I was gonna say end of days.
5-on-5.
Yeah, no, the other one.
And Garner.
No, you talking about with Tyson Fury and Usyk, or are you talking about
the last fight of the year in December 24th or 26th or whatever it was last year?
Yeah, you talking about the heavyweights or all the heavyweights?
Yes.
With Deontay and Anthony and
him doing that was a good play too to build the year up for boxing for what we have. I mean, yeah, I'll pay respect to that as well because PBC from like July on. They were trying to spend all that money that Showtime gave them to get that, get whatever revenue they can moving forward. And they put cards together. As you've seen as that was going on this year, you've seen Turkish, he started off pretty well. PBC didn't give us a card till March. Matchroom was giving us some good cards. De La Hoya's still playing beyond the 8-ball a little bit. You know what I mean? He didn't really give us nothing great. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He playing that corner pocket, bro. He over there in his fishnets. But anyway, he need to move the needle too a little bit because I think we can get a bunch of great fights. And even just having these guys come together to fight, you know what I mean? It'd be great. Some of these promotions, like what Turkey Sheik is doing. If they can all make super fights and all have these like tournaments, which Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn just did, and you may have Bob Arum versus Top Rank, maybe Floyd versus De La Hoya, and then just have all these fights come together, bro, we might have some like super serious battles on these sets that we watch. You know what I mean? And we just be here talking about it all month, all year. You know what I mean? For the next couple of centuries, we could be talking about great fights for a long time.
I ain't gonna lie. I want Turkey to do one thing. I want him to do the 5v5.
You just want to drive one.
Nah, we ain't worried about that, man.
I'm just messing with you.
I got too many toys, but
well, send me one. Shit.
On that note, though, I want him to do the 5v5 in the 135, 140 division combined.
Yeah,
combined though.
Hit him up. Y'all got the information. Hit him up.
You said in 140,
135 and 140 combined though, because it's only. You feel me? Like, to me, it ain't gonna make a difference, but to them, it do. So, however they like it, I just want everybody fight each other. Shakur, Haney, T.O., Tank, all of them to fight.
Yeah, man. Man, you talking epic. You're talking. If Turkey was able to pull something like that off, he'd
be the biggest.
Yeah, he'd put a space in boxing that nobody could ever discount him for, like in the history of boxing. Like for him to be able to put something like that together, which I don't think it's far-fetched at all that that conversations are happening and trying to put that together.
How would he do it? Would he guarantee purses for either side? Sides? How would something like that?
He probably would do all of the above. 4K. He probably do all of the above. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said if he really got the bag like that, do it.
Shit. Paying these heavyweights.
So we know you got the bag, but I don't know if they're gonna be willing to do it though.
Tank pretty much said in an interview that he only had one little issue with Turkey. One way that Turkey handled as far as like backing Devin that way, making it sound like, you know what I'm saying, making Devin like he didn't appreciate that approach to the situation. But I mean, I don't think it's far fetched that everybody would get on board. And I think it's great fights, great money. As long as all the promoters are on board, which is what he's working on. That's what this league is about, right? This whole league that he's talking about is about, man. And he's talking about doing it like once or twice a year where he brings all the promoters, you know what I'm saying, to bring their best fighters and have these tournaments, you know what I'm saying? Which is just, bro. I mean,
is that undisputed belt a real thing now, Clay?
Huh?
Yeah. I thought it was
that undisputed belt. You know that belt for undisputed.
What about it?
No,
I mean, is that a real thing? Is that in effect? Like, did he?
I don't feel like it's sanctioned.
Yeah, it's not sanctioned, but
it's not sanctioned. It's not sanctioned. But in a boxing space,
it's
where it seems like belts aren't valued, the boxing space can put the value in that belt. that's even beyond all the other belts. You know what I'm saying? If the boxing space, as far as like the boxers, acknowledge that belt for being, you know what I'm saying, for being one of the to give that belt that respect, it can get like a lineal Ring Magazine type of, you know what I'm saying, accolade about it that just makes it even more impressive to have than any of the other belts.
Yeah, but like,
it's real weird with the belts. You know what I'm saying? In boxing and in the boxing space, the belts is kind of strange because like you have the belts that's from the sanctioning bodies, and then you have those other belts that we feel like they don't really mean nothing. But a fighter like Terrence Crawford could say that the only belt that matters to him is the ring belt. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, that belt don't really mean nothing. Do it. But you know,
to them
I
it
guess
do.
it depends on the value from the fighters or who.
Yeah, that means the lineal champion belt does mean a lot, bro.
Yeah. My bad. Go
ahead. So when they get that, that's a recognition. That's like the apex belt in most cases, because that was the original belt. So that even though it doesn't have significance, it just shows where it came from and how it's guided boxing, and it's still around. So
wait, what you mean the original belt? That was the first belt or something? What you saying?
Believe so.
That was the belts on the movies and stuff. Like when you used to watch like boxing movies, they used to grab that belt.
Like boxing.
Yeah. So that belt means a lot to the boxers because it's an accomplishment. It's like an ultimate trophy.
Yeah, but they pick who they want to get at too. Like you don't gotta do nothing special to get that, John. They just give it to who they want to give it to.
No, whoever the best in the division get it.
Not really though.
The best in the division always get it. That's why I mean, I see where you coming from with it, but that's why
Tio had that John, man.
He beat Josh Taylor though, right?
No, he had it before he beat Josh Taylor.
So did he get it in a Loma fight or something?
Yeah, he had that John when he wasn't really undisputed.
That's why he beat Loma. Loma was the best at 135 at that time.
Yo, salute Adam Holson. If you wasn't talking shit, salute, man. I appreciate the love. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Thank you.
But no, though, like with the undisputed belt, the only thing I got with that, like, do you still got to pay that 3% for that belt too? Like, so that's gonna be what, 5 belts?
Probably not. I mean, if Turkey's behind it, look, it seems like Turkey is really trying to dispel all the things that, you know, he seems to be a real supporter of the boxers, not even the promoters, right? Like he understands that he needs to work with the promoters, so he acknowledges them. But it seems like more than anything, he just has this energy of just like, I want to pay them what they feel like they're worth. I want to put the biggest fights together. I want to give the fans what they want to. He appeases to the fans. So if the boxers are complaining about sanctioning body fees, and that's why they don't chase the titles like they used to back in the day when he loved boxing, when he to the era he refers to when he's talking about Roberto Duran and Larry Holmes, the fighters that he respects. If he wants to bring boxing back to that era and he wants belts to get respected again, I don't think it's far-fetched that he would eliminate the idea of sanctioning fees towards the boxer for holding these belts if he's trying to dispel all these issues.
Yeah, but like with like something like that, it's always gonna be like something, like it's gonna be too good to be true, and it's gonna be something that always, you feel me?
Right. You're right. Look, man, this is gonna be hard, damn near impossible in front of some people's eyes, and I think it's warranted. The cynicism to the idea of that working is warranted because we're dealing in a boxing space where, you know, these promotional companies don't fall on the same page very often. But if anybody can do it, and if anything can motivate something like that to happen, it's money, right?
Right. Like,
if anything could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, still far-fetched, even with the money involved. But if anything could do it, it would be a lot of money. And clearly, Turki Al-Sheikh brings that element to the space, and therefore, fingers crossed.
Hey, to that point, you got to think something is at play for all of a sudden Bob Arum to do a 180 and all of a sudden be willing to make a Tank fight. Because, when everybody was always like, oh, Tank is ducking Shakur, Tank is ducking this dude. If you ever listen to any Bob Arum interviews, like from even just a few months ago, anytime Tank is brought up, he shoots it down. He's like, well, I'm not making that. I'm not making that fight. I'm not making that fight all the time. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, now he's willing to do it. So
can you wonder into the interview? Because I'm sorry to interrupt too. I brought that up to somebody and I could not find an interview while I was saying that Bob had a witness protection program going on. I'm serious, but because when every time Tank was brought up, I swear from what I remember, he did not want that fight.
Yeah, who didn't want to fight?
Bob didn't.
Oh yeah. Okay. I thought you said somebody else.
Bob did say that. Bob said that wasn't a fight that he was interested at the moment. But that didn't stop.
Because Bob was worried about them belts. That's why Bob is offering them keeping them belts over there with him.
No, it's not even a belt.
No, Loma was asking for the fight. Bob didn't want to make that fight.
Ray, Loma said a couple of things in that interview where he's sitting on the side of the ring. He slick talked his way through it. He said one thing. He said one thing, and then he said another thing. He said why would Tank? Why would I fight Tank on pay-per-view? I'll fight him for free. And then he said, well, if he wants to fight me, then he put stipulations on it. Well, he needs to move up to 135. Then he needs to fight somebody that means something. He needs to win a title. And then we'll see if he wants to fight. He was asked again after that, and he had like a shoulder injury or something like that was going on. They were both asked by TMZ. So, like, to say that Loma 100% wanted that fight in the past, I'm not saying that no fighter scared, but I don't think that it was just pushed the way that either side pushed the way they should have pushed in the past.
No, I think.
That was when Loma was really going after the fight when it was at 130.
Yeah, I was saying.
After that, Loma left and went to 135. Yeah. Then he was trying to get undisputed. Then, but I think everybody's talking about at 130.
That was 2017. 130 was in 2017, right?
No, yeah, and I believe he also wanted to fight him before that too, right? Right before after he took the fight with what's the name?
He gonna get done so bad, man. Y'all wanted this fight.
Gary Russell, he wanted to take fight.
Yeah, you damn right. We want this fight.
Y'all want the fight. Y'all want it. Y'all called it. Y'all got it.
Hey, Hood Rich, we won all the fights, bro. We won them all, bro.
I mean, he can't fight them all in one night.
Listen, if Loma gets slept, bro, I'm gonna enjoy that fight, bro. Like, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna give Tank mad props for it, and then a whole bunch of people gonna come over and they're gonna think that, yeah, how you feel now? Your boy got knocked out. They're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo,
I mean, you better prep yourself now.
It is what it is.
You better prep yourself now, man.
Wait, who your boy? Clay?
They're gonna say Loma, my boy. Everybody think that I hate Tank. Everybody think I hate Tank, bro. So
I think you mean
fight somebody, whenever I ask Tank to fight somebody, we think the dude I want Tank to fight is my boy. You know what I'm saying? So when Tank finally lays him out or does something to him, they like to come over here and be like, "Yeah, see." You see, then I'm like, and I laugh. Well, it's all good, bro. I wanted the fight. If the cost of having the fight was you guys thinking that, you know what I mean, I'm just like a fanatic of a person who, you know, I'm cool with it, bro. As long as I see the fight, bro. I live a great life, bro. I
understand it now. Like,
I got a wife.
Yeah, me too, though, Clay.
Internet, it's not that serious.
Me too, though, Clay. And, you know, everybody think I hate Tank because I want him to fight certain people. You know what I mean?
Right.
You be talking shit.
I want him to fight Shakur. I want him to fight Loma.
You be talking cold cash shit. You be talking shit. I be saying you in the mornings.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, he be on the boxing voice, huh?
Man, he be talking shit on Phenom channel.
He be on the boxing voice.
He be on Candyland. He be on Candyland, but that's different. That's between him. And I was just saying that earlier, right? I think I was saying that earlier, right? Right? Like, we sometimes the debate between the fans, the fighters get caught up in it and they get pushed to the wayside, right? So let's say me and Sean, let's say I don't like Sean, right? And I know Sean a Tank fan. So I might argue with Sean all the time about Tank and throw shots at Tank, but really I'm throwing shots at Sean Tank's really catching some praise because it's really Shawn I got the issue with.
No, but look at this though. Hey, Hood Rich, what you said you see me in the mornings. What did I say bad about Tank? Like, how did I hate on Tank?
Nah, you coming around though. You coming around these days.
For now, I don't be getting on your ass for no reason now.
No, Fanon just don't like Devin Haney. That's what it is. And he identified me as a Devin Haney fan. And so he don't like nothing Devin Haney or Bill. He don't like nothing Haney. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. Like, it's not like I be on there hating on Tank, saying Tank ducking nobody or none of that stuff. You know what I mean?
I can vouch for Frequent Flyer. I'm gonna tell you all this because I'm definitely out there and I show support to all the fighters. But because
I be saying you too, Clay. I mean, Ray.
I know, but because I defend Devin in certain aspects of and Clay talks to me all the time, so Clay knows where I'm at with this. I'll defend him in certain aspects because of the way the room's moving, and I'll be like, look, I'm gonna go stand on this side and just show you some other things that's not being said. Let's talk about all the things in the room, not just talk about just what we see on this side. So then when I do that, people be like, oh, you're a Devin Haney fan, you're this and that. And then Frequent gave me an honorary badge of Hanos Clan, which is crazy. But it's cool.
No, they threw you over the fence, right? They threw you over the fence.
Then they threw me over the fence, and I was like, you know what? You're gonna put me here. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stand on it. It is what it is. And I ain't mad because I support all of these guys. And you heard Hood Rich like you was saying the same thing about me the other day. You was like, yo, Ray, I didn't know you had that in you. You lying right now. You like, I'm coming up there. I'm coming up there, yo. You know what I mean? Because I speak the truth, bro. I just keep it boxing. That's it. At the end of the day,
Hood Rich. Because I started Hanos Clan, but now I'm just a figurehead. Now Ray run the whole clan now.
No, man, the whole Hanos Clan went to Shakur'S side. I swear to God, man. And another one, bro.
That's not the Hanos Clan. That's not the Hanos Clan. Let me just defend it. That's the Avengers. Hold on.
Oh man, but another one, bro. Like this really surprised me, bro. I'm going through my Twitter space. I'm going through. I see a video popped up. A BFTB talking about, man, that Haney can't beat Tank. Now years down the road, he on the other side. I'm like, yo, these niggas be crazy, man. Like. You know what I'm talking about, Zay?
Hey, he probably changed his mind, bro. At that point, Devin didn't think Devin Haney could beat him, but now he think different, bro.
No, bro.
No,
that man
that's
said,
that Bill Haney influence.
Yeah, bro. That man said Tank will kill him, bro. He said Tank will kill Devin, bro. He said that.
You know what that probably was, bro? He probably saw that highlight tape and thought that, that's what really happened. And then he saw the whole spar tape.
He cashed at that man. Nope.
Do we really want to talk about that sparring tape?
No.
Let's not talk about the sparring tape. Let's not talk about the sparring tape.
It's not because I can't defend either side. It's just because I just don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, let's not talk about that, bro.
I'm with you.
Respect. All I'm gonna say about it is that looked like a big bro, like in there with his little bro, and wasn't really trying to even do nothing to him. He turned up.
Facts.
That was about it, bro. And that ain't to take away nothing from Devin. So, like, that's what I don't like about the fans, bro. They use anything to try to tell
anything.
Wait, don't forget Floyd had him in the arm bar, and while Devin had him in the headlock.
Devin to go punch Tank.
And people had guns and stuff in there, so Tank's side was scared. Don't forget all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Bro,
hold up, bro. Like y'all forgetting. Tank came there with AB and his coaches. It was the whole gym versus him, bro.
Hey, you ain't got to tell me. I'm talking about these delusional Tank fans that was running around saying that. They were saying that. That was their excuse for what happened in the fight.
Next topic, please.
Yeah, we'll move on. Yo, backwards, Bakai. I don't know if you subscribed, but you know what I mean. I'll hook you up with a wrench and put that video for Rachel if she needs to see that link or whatever have you. Just let me know.
All I'm gonna say is if I'm in the ring and someone got their back turned and I get a free lick on them, they get knocked out.
Knocking them out.
He ain't turning. Hey, but people was complaining about that. Like, he sucker punched him, man. He snuck him, man. He sucker punched him.
Can I ask you a question? Were they?
He ain't even buzz him.
I know, but was that?
I said a sucker punch is good in the hood, though. You ain't never sucker punch nobody.
Hold on, let me just say this.
Let Ray go, man.
Was that actually during the sparring? Was that like not when they were in the center of the ring and he walked away and did that? Or was that him just like
some dude was talking?
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Oh man!
Hold on, let me just ask because I'm gonna go somewhere else with it. Just real quick. It's yes or no? Yes, right?
So if you fighting a man and
hold on. So if it's a sucker punch, how many times have fighters in the ring turned their back on their opponent and got punched just like that?
Yeah, but
that's the same.
That's not exactly. It's the same thing. Thank you. Hold on.
And on top of that, Floyd had to tell him to do it. Floyd had to make him do it.
Bro,
Floyd was like, "Yo, get him."
I didn't want to cut Zay off. I just stopped everything. I ain't say nothing. Go ahead, Zay.
He cut you off. All right.
What I'm saying is that when you protect, when you take up for that sucker punch, I don't know if you remember when they call it the clip or whatever. I wasn't even with the little clip that dropped. I wanted to see the whole tape from the beginning. But I had to argue with guys who were saying, "Oh, I don't like what Tank doing. Tank is pushing his head down and blase, blase." But then, when you see Devin on the clip go sucker punch Tank, ain't nothing said about it. Devin even posted the clip. And listen, I'm not even mad about Devin posting the clip. I felt like he was doing
he did something.
And antagonized. I don't feel like it was no true ill intent. Devin was a 16-year-old kid doing what Floyd told him to do. If you look, when Devin went to go do that sucker punch, Floyd is in the corner telling him, "Hey, don't let him take no break. Go hit him. Go hit him. Go hit him." Right. Even when Tank is up against the ropes on the left-hand side of the ring.
That's what I was saying.
Throw the left hook. Throw the left hook. He's telling Devin to swing. So
and Devin didn't want to be malicious at that
That's
point.
what I'm saying. Floyd made him do that.
Right.
If people were arguing that Tank was pushing his head down and that was wrong, what Devin did when he turned his back, no matter what, you don't hit somebody with their back turned. But it is what it is.
Tell that to Zelly Zane.
Listen, Tank did it in other sparring footage, so I'm
not.
Hold up, but this what I didn't understand though. If you look at the whole spar footage, yo, before Devin even got that still on him right there, Tank did the same thing to him. Tank started talking to him. Devin put his hands down, and then Tank hit him 2 times. That was like a sucker punch there too.
Bro, I got something that'll shut all this down, bro.
Guess what? I don't care about. Real quick,
That's why we shouldn't even talk about this because it's just sparring, man. You know what I'm saying? This was just for the fans to go back and forth.
No. Let me just say this. That shit was 9 years ago. I really don't give a fuck 9 years ago. I want to move on to today and present. I'm sorry. I really don't want to talk about
this. That's what I was ready to say, bro. Frank was saying he did that in sparring. What happened to Frank? It don't matter. It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. Frank said he did this, did that, did this, did that, and he got slept. It don't matter, bro.
I don't know. 9 years ago, that's almost a decade.
I don't think that wasn't no big brother, little brother thing, bro. I don't think that Tank was.
No, that was just a decade ago. I really don't even care, bro. I'll be honest with you.
No, because it was being
I know, I get it. But hold on.
Because on Twitter, I seen different tunes from a lot of people, and I ain't
not me. I was. You heard me defending
not me.
You see me defending you and supporting you on that, right? And I kept saying that shit was 9 years ago. But when people started trying to clown the situation, I was talking crap to them. I was really in support. I was really in support of it, but I was messing with you, and I told you I was trolling these other motherfuckers, but other people like you and everything.
You gotta troll sometimes, bro. You gotta troll sometimes.
No, but Zay, who you think Devin was supposed to get that bread though, Zay?
Man, whoever got it, they got it.
Look, I said this from the beginning. It's a video already on YouTube with me saying this. If Tank quit in the sparring, if Tank stopped, then that's the bet.
Right.
That's what it is. Yeah, Devin was supposed to get the money. If that's what it is, that's what it is. I'm not finna, they ain't hurting my pockets. Ain't nothing being taken from me.
Was Floyd Senior lying and stuff when he was saying what he said?
When he said that it was a one-way butt whooping, bro. Listen, I'm a very I watch every single thing. I'm petty. I'll go slow the whole footage down and I'll show you Devin's combinations. And if I tell y'all this will piss a lot of Devin fans off. If I tell y'all that out of 6 punches that Devin threw in the combination, only 2 of them landed, people will get mad. But when you look at the sparring footage at first eyesight, it's like, Devin putting the paws on him. But if you look at Tank when he up against the ropes, a lot of that got rolled under and Devin landed 2 good punches. The combinations look amazing.
Yo, everybody was saying the same thing about that highlight John too, though. They were saying, Tank ain't really hitting him.
it's a video already out. I didn't support the highlight, John, bro. Like we broke it down. I was never in. None of it matters to me, bro. Either video, the longer one that just dropped and the first one that just dropped.
That's
either
it.
one of them matters. I never got excited for either one of them. For either one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
What I was more excited about was when the Devin and the Shakur footage stopped. But yeah, y'all go ahead.
What's going to happen is going to happen, bro. When they fight, it's going to happen. You feel me? You just got to wait till they fight.
We all get to see what happened when they fight, right? When Shakur fight Devin, when Shakur fight Tank fight Devin, all of them mix it up and fight each other. We gonna see what Tank gonna do to Loma, or if he couldn't beat Loma.
But my question is to everybody is, why is Tank the only one that's fighting? You feel me? Like, why nobody else mixing
Devin
it up?
fought Loma already. Devin fought Loma
I ain't
already.
talking about Loma. I ain't
Ryan Garcia, he fought Ryan Garcia already too.
But he crying about it. So he wrong though. He wrong. For sure. But it's how he going about the situation,
he had
bro.
that Nandrolone and that Osterin popping.
Whatever. Yo, let me push the needle a little bit into this.
I ain't even going in that route, Clay.
Listen. Let's
yes, thank you for not taking
it's
the
gonna
bait.
be a whole. It's gonna be a whole another hour too.
I want to move the conversation a little bit into some Canelo, a little bit of Canelo conversation, a little bit. Edgar Berlanga, rumors of Edgar Berlanga or
I love that
being one of the fights. So you're for the Edgar Berlanga fight with Canelo?
Yeah,
no,
I like it.
The Charlo better.
I like the Edgar Berlanga fight but I like it, but I don't like it over the Benavidez fight. I like it because we finally get to see, is he going to fold or he going? You feel me? Is he going to tuck that chin or is he going to fold?
Dang, Hood Rich, you don't. Maul ain't nothing. Maul ain't nobody.
I feel like Maul don't even deserve to fight right now, bro.
Oh man, why?
Maul on some island on some boat.
What Maul do to not deserve to fight,
bro? He not even. That nigga fight once every 5 years, bro.
But he ducked Maul though.
So
Andrade too. He did duck Maul. Listen, I agree with
Andrade too.
They created the franchise belt for him ducking Maul. That's how that franchise duck belt came into existence, bro. That fight gotta happen, bro.
I agree with Hood to a certain extent when he say that Maul don't really deserve to fight, but also frequently you're right. Canelo was ducking him years ago, but I think a better fight for boxing would be Charlo versus Canelo. I think that Berlanga would get cooked by Caleb Plant, and that just says a lot. That's what I would rather see. I
was just about to ask you if you think Berlanga could beat Maul.
No.
No.
Yeah, why we want him to fight Berlanga? We know he green. He ain't ready yet.
So look, Maul just came back, and his jab, even with ring rust, his jab it kept him stable in that fight. It got him through the fight, and it helped him put together other things to secure that win against Benavidez. So now that he kind of shook that off a little bit, he can. Maul should probably take another tune up, but if Canelo is just next, I think that he should get into training. I still think either way it goes, whether he takes a tune up or not, I think it's a better fight than Canelo fighting Edward Berlanga, and I think that Canelo is probably gonna win that by stoppage. So,
I think. Go ahead.
Versus Charlo is
I don't know Charlo personally, but it's already July. You feel me? We talking about September. Mm-hmm. If you ain't already in the gym just working, like you don't gotta be in training camp. But if you ain't in the gym, period, I don't know if he is or not, but if you're not in the gym, period, I don't even know why you even thinking about a Canelo fight, because that's a workhorse, bro.
What has Berlanga done to deserve the fight?
No, I mean you're right about that, but at least
it's a money fight.
He's still in the mix. He active.
Right, activity.
I think Hoodrich, let me know if I'm following your thinking a little bit. You want to barbecue or mildew Edgar. You want the hype to be him to either be true or a liar. And let's get this out the way, and let's not play these games no more with this.
Yeah.
Let's put him in the ring with the lions and get him his payday. If he's really him, he stops Canelo, and we're all in shock and we're all bugging. Like
he don't even gotta stop him, no, bro. Like if he, you feel me? Like
yeah.
If he show up,
something real quick though. I think Berlanga is he too. It's too early for him. I
Doesn't
think
matter.
it's the same
It doesn't
situation.
matter.
It give me those Frank vibes, man.
Well,
Frank versus Tank.
So
You're
what
saying
they're saying is
getting better.
what they're saying is a frequent is that if you believe you can do it, you want to play. You want to be 18 years old. You want to come in this bar and drink with us old fellas that's in their 30s. Come on in here and handle your liquor, boy.
Let's see how you build.
Let's see how you walk out of here. That's what they're trying to say.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because look, he's ducking David Morrell. He's playing games with Caleb Plant. He won't fight Caleb Plant. He keeps telling everybody that he's ready. He's the best. You know what I mean? He's going to be the best fighter to fight Canelo. He's holding up shit. Put him in there. Puerto Rico versus Mexico.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Clay.
I say put him in there with Munguia or somebody like that. Or let him fight Charlo. Let him and Charlo fight to see who get to fight him.
Berlanga is turning down these fights, bro.
Right.
He's saying he's not fighting David Morrell. He's not. He's saying he got bigger fish to fry. Like it's all about Canelo, and he's really just up until this point. He's really a hype train, right? Like he started his career off with all these stoppages. Then he struggled. He played a couple of dirty games. You know what I'm saying? And really, all we can do is what we're doing right now. Is saying that no, this dude's a hype train. But is he? I don't know.
Look, Clay and everybody else, y'all. We don't got too many more fights from Canelo, bro. We can't be wasting it on no Berlanga, bro. Canelo about to retire, man. We got Bud. We got Bud in there. You know what I'm saying? We trying to see that Bud fight. We trying to see Maul because Maul deserve it because he ducked Maul. And Benavidez, man. That's it. That's it.
I have no interest in seeing him fight Maul, man. Maul is not. Maul needs to get his life together.
Oh, come on, no, Maul got to get it, bro. Just by principle.
Maul is not the same guy who had to get
How you know? Maul ain't lose to nobody.
Okay.
He ain't lose to nobody.
Frequency.
I still don't want to see it, though.
Gotta ask Frequency. Can Berlanga beat Maul?
Hell to the no.
Why he
Hell no, he can't beat Maul.
But in boxing, it's boxing.
Can he beat Can he beat Maul? Can he beat him?
I mean, it's boxing, bro. Whoever,
wait, can
hold up,
Frequent. Berlanga?
Damn.
Go ahead.
I didn't hear what he said.
I'll repeat the question. Go ahead, Rich.
Like I was saying, like, bro, everybody, if you get in the ring, you feel me? Everybody got a chance, especially if you got power. You feel me? Like, but honestly, no.
Okay. So he said, can Berlanga beat Jamal? Frequency.
And Hoodridge said no, he can't.
But he asked you.
That's my opinion.
Okay, yeah. So I already said I don't think that he could beat Maul.
Okay. So then his follow-up is, or is that for everybody?
So why we want to see if nobody thinks that Berlanga could beat Maul, why we want to see Berlanga fight Canelo instead of Maul? That's what I don't understand.
We want to
see the best fights, or we just trying to see somebody get beat up that we don't like?
Give me Berlanga versus Billy.
Right. Here's where the question comes in.
I want to see a bluff get knocked out.
Let me ask this question. This is where the question comes in, right? And what I would think. Do we want to see somebody that's been sitting out the ring for so long, that hasn't been active, that's probably not going to sell the fight? Or do we take somebody that, you know what, this guy talks a lot of shit. This guy has been active. This guy can get in the ring.
Why people keep saying Maul wasn't active? He just fought, man. He just fought.
I'm going to go after y'all because I do have a counterpunch that I'm going to go after y'all.
Listen.
Go ahead, right?
And Berlanga will bring another fan base because it's Puerto Rico versus Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
That will also bring up bring the fans into it, and they'll probably prefer to see that over Jamal. Jamal has not been there. It's not that I don't want to see it. It's not that you guys don't want to see it. It's what people want to see. And I think that changes everything. Who's in the chat?
It's money.
Oh, Sean said he's hopping off. Okay.
There's money over everything.
Money, exactly. And that's what it comes down to.
So
okay,
go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I wasn't saying that.
You beat on my little brother and put him on his bicycle for the rest of the fight. You stalled me out for all these years, and I got a bunch of issues outside.
I got a rebuttal to that. My bad.
Okay.
That is a storyline. They got a storyline. Like the fight can almost sell itself. You know, I think that the fight can sell, and I think that it can sell just as good as Berlanga. If not, it'll be tight, barely, but if not, better. I think he's been in the sport long enough. He's been champion long. I mean, even though he's been out the ring, like y'all say, with the ring rust and stuff like that, he came back and he beat the Monster's brother. And even though that guy, even though he had to let that guy's know he's not he ain't nothing to play with. He's a dog.
Exactly.
So you put him in there with a Canelo. That's somebody who can sustain. I feel like Charlo would take Canelo's power better than Berlanga will. I feel like he'll be able to keep him off longer and survive the whole 12 rounds with his jab and stuff like that. What is Berlanga gonna bring other than possibly, getting knocked out? Because Canelo will wear a guy down, and Charlo has the size to keep him off him. That's an amazing boxing match still. It's still a better boxing match than Berlanga. I want to see a tango. I want to see some 12-round action. I've been seeing that. I watch Tank for knockouts. Let me see Canelo and Charlo go for 12 rounds and box. Let me see that. Let me see if Charlo can keep Canelo off with a jab. Let me see Canelo's head movement and Charlo locating that jab on Canelo's head. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and my thing is, I want that fight bad too. Like, I really want that fight, but
I don't want it. I don't.
My mind, bro, it's telling me how do we know if Charlo gonna get in there and throw, bro? Like, you feel me? Yeah, like you said it. His brother was the real kid. You feel me? And you feel me? He didn't really indulge in that much. Do we want to even see that again, or the possibility of see that?
Yo, Bayani, I appreciate you coming by. I hope you subscribe, man. Yeah, definitely. See you guys next time. Definitely.
Yo, Jamel not better than Maul. He never was. Maul is the knockout puncher.
Okay, so two things. One, you're basing everything on. If you're basing it on knockouts, you're still basing it on your opinion on who's better.
No, I'm not basing it on that. Look at their record.
He doing that because he got that O.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, sometimes a loss makes you a better fighter.
Jamel was like that, though. He was like that,
Now you're making too many excuses. Getting by with one was okay, but now you're taking two.
Okay.
What's the next one you're going to take? Maul is the bigger guy. What you going to say about that? Maul is the bigger brother that he's supposed to have been fighting. Canelo cherry-picked the smaller brother.
I'm glad you corrected that, because I was about to label you in the chat, but it's okay. It's cool.
And he's still fighting that. He's still fighting that mental health. So we really don't know if he's going to get in there and be like the Maul from 5 years ago. We don't. You feel me? But
I agree with you, Hood Rich.
Crazy is the strongest, bro.
No, I think at the end of the day, the ideal fight, the more competitive fight for Canelo Alvarez on paper should be Jamal Charlo.
Right.
Like Hood Rich said, we have these intangibles that come with Charlo that we have to all acknowledge. The man is consistently showing a little bit of mental health issues. He doesn't show any commitment to the sport. The last fight he had was at a catchweight fight. It wasn't even for his for the titles that he had. He wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't even able to get in shape to fight Jose Benavidez and put his middleweight titles on the line. There's things in there. There's these intangibles involved with that fight getting put together that can give somebody some reservations as far as a promoter is concerned on putting that fight together, where you have an Edgar Berlanga who's going to make the weight. He's gonna promote the fight. He's gonna bring Puerto Rico with him. He has a whole nation, Puerto Rico versus Mexico, and there's a certain satisfaction that I think a large portion of the game wants to see Edgar Berlanga challenged and either knock like barbecue and mildew, like we said earlier, like either be that guy or not be that guy. He doesn't want to get in the ring with the guys we know could give us that answer in a high or David Morrell. He thinks he's better than everybody, or Caleb Plant. He thinks he's better than all those guys, and these guys are beneath him. So give him the fight. Canelo would take the fight easy because he knows it's going to be good money because of Puerto Rico. And no matter how you guys want to paint it, there's entertainment in watching a dude with a big mouth get knocked the fuck out.
Sounds like business.
On pay-per-view.
And then Canelo retires and rides off into the sunset without fighting none of the guys we wanted them to fight. Nobody asked for that Berlinga fight.
Listen, at the end of the day, I didn't talk.
He gotta fight him.
Right. And I said this too. Frequent before. It doesn't matter who we want him to fight. This guy has already written his legacy in the early years. He's in cruise control now. He controls it. Once you get to
he got a duck in his legacy that he got to straighten out, bro.
He don't care. Why do we care? That's what it really comes down to.
That's what I'm trying to say. You think he has to, but he doesn't.
Oh, he got two ducks. I forgot about that. Okay. No, he cared. He cared because he said it. He mentioned it.
Listen,
he said if you like me and you my fan, then you should want to see me hurt. Ain't that what he said,
don't hear
bro?
Nothing.
Duck energy, bro.
Bro, when you talk, you don't hear nothing. You feel me?
because you trying to talk when I'm talking at the same time. You doing a phenon on me.
No, that was Ray trying to talk. You feel me? But
no,
go ahead,
no, let me say this real quick though. I don't think that Jamal Charlo should not get the Canelo fight.
Put him in the back row. Go ahead.
I don't think that Jamal Charlo should not get the Canelo fight unless one of these other guys that I think deserve the fight more than he does beat Jamal, like Terrence Crawford or David Benavidez. I bet you that's one person that Bud is not willing to go through to try to get to Canelo. I bet you Bud won't fight Jamal Charlo. Bud ain't gonna fight him.
No.
He trying to fight Jamel.
Bud said he was cut.
Yeah, Jamel is a different thing. He ain't gonna try to fight Maul though.
That's because Jamal ain't hop out there on him how Jamel did.
Right.
No, he know Maul's the naturally bigger guy. Pause.
Bro, Bud is him, bro.
At that time.
Bud is him. But I bet you, Bud him. But he know his limitation though. He ain't trying to fight Benavidez.
Bro, you say he knows limitations, but he trying to fight Canelo.
Yeah, but both of them guys is trying to fight Canelo. And if you willing to go up to 168 to fight Canelo, somebody else was at 168 who was in line to fight Canelo. So if you knock him off, like Floyd said, then you get to fight him. So he wasn't willing to do that. Why?
So you want two names in the hat. Why don't Bud fight Berlinga in that case? You know why? Because you just looking for a reason to have Jamal fight this fight. Bro,
we talking about Benavidez and Bud, bro.
I understand that, but
why Bud ain't gonna fight Benavidez?
Let me tap in.
Because he want to go at the big dog.
I just want to tap in and say this, right?
You want to go at the smaller guy. That's why.
No, that's not what it is. What we're talking about is, and I think we're not separating, right? What we're talking about is what should happen and what can and will happen, right? What should happen is Canelo Alvarez should fight David Benavidez as is mandatory. That's what the world wants to see. That's what should happen.
Absolutely.
If Jamal Charlo wanted to be in the conversation of fighting Canelo Alvarez, Jamal Charlo should be active. He should be fighting, be showing that he's here for the fight to happen. He should not be wherever he is right now, where we have no idea where he is. The idea of us collecting Jamal Charlo from some
remote island
where he's getting some remote island where he's drinking, living his life, and be like, "Yo, Jamal, we need you now." Yeah. No, that's nonsense. He's not showing through action that he's available or even interested in fighting Canelo Alvarez. He's not saying nothing on Twitter. He's not on interview. He's not fighting He's not fighting fights. He's not defending his titles. His last fight was against Jose Benavidez in a catchweight fight, and we haven't heard from him since. The last time that the rumor was put out there that Canelo was going to fight Jamal Charlo, the whole entire boxing space almost threw up in the back of their mouth. They're like, we do not want to see that. You know what I'm saying? PBC was like, we're not investing in that. We're not paying for that. You need to fight David Benavidez. Literally, the PBC almost lost Canelo Alvarez during that situation. Almost left, right? So saying we want to see Jamal Charlo and being realistic about how that fight's going to sell and understanding that Canelo Alvarez is a money-driven, prize fighter-driven fighter. The money's not there against Jamal Charlo. The money's there against Edgar Berlanga because he brings a whole country with him. Now,
but wasn't Canelo fighting to try to? Canelo was mad. He left the PBC because they wouldn't let him fight Jamal Charlo.
Right, but the PBC said we're not going to pay for it because ain't no money there.
Right.
How they know though?
Because
it don't matter how they know. The question is, am I going to pay? The question is, am I going to take the money out of my pocket that's inside of my pocket and give it to you to fight somebody that I don't think I'm going to make money on? It don't matter. You know, all that matters is I don't think I'm going to make money. And they know.
Then
we're done. Right. And then we're done because you ain't got no money. You ain't got nobody who's going to pay you to fight that dude.
That's why I'm happy Turkey out here going hard in the paint still. He dunked on Al Healy.
Like Turkey already done told you if the Canelo Alvarez fight is to be made, he already told you where his interests are. It's Terrence Crawford. He ain't interested in nobody else. Not even David Benavidez. He told David Benavidez, nah, bro, go to light heavyweight. I'll get you the winner, better be even Bivol. But I ain't even interested in the Canelo fight that much. I want Terrence. Nobody's talking about Jamal Charlo. Now, to bring up something Jamal Charlo did 7 years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, however long it was, and how Canelo ducked him back then, it doesn't hold any weight right now. It just doesn't hold enough weight. That's just a personal, incomplete thing that people want to have complete in their mind. They want to be made whole on. I wonder what would happen. But the reality is that Jamal Charlo is no longer existing in that same capacity. That Jamal Charlo that y'all wanted to see fight Canelo Alvarez is not in that same capacity anymore. He's a different Jamal. Maybe better, maybe worse. We don't know. We have no idea because he's been hidden.
Right.
I would be agreeing with you, bro, if it wasn't a duck in this whole situation. He ducked them, bro. You can't get away with them ducks, man.
Here's what you do, Frequent. If you really want to see it happen, you need to call Jamal up and tell him fight Benavidez, for this mandatory spot, and then he can get in line.
Canelo won't even fight Benavidez.
No.
Bro, why we want to see Tank fight Loma then? Why we want to see Tank fight Loma?
What is that?
Don't try to bring it up with the Tank. No, nigga.
Time out.
Stay your ass at middleweight.
Yeah. Hold on. Whoa. That's like two different sides of the field, bro.
No, but it's related, bro. It's related for real.
How? No, there's 4 different fighters, 2 different divisions.
Because a lot of people felt like Floyd was ducking Tank away
years ago, bro.
But it's years ago, but it's coming back around. It's still there, though, right?
But aren't they making the fight happen?
It's happening.
Right now, Lomachenko is the IBF champion in the 135-pound weight class division, bro. He's relevant.
Charlo don't got no more belts.
Charlo don't got shit. He's been stripped of all his belts.
They stripped him, but they stripped him. He ain't lose nothing in the ring. They stripped him.
He's not no champion at 68.
He didn't win it in the ring either.
Bro, Frequent, nobody's even talking about Jamal Charlo, bro. He's not even a relevant.
That's what I can't understand. Why not? No, they is saying that Jamal Charlo versus Canelo talks is in the atmosphere now. My God. We catching sound of that now. That's why we talking about it.
Yeah, you
didn't hear that in the boxing space.
No, I did, but listen. Right? It is being brought up right now, right? And that's why I'm asking the question on which fight it makes more sense. But outside of this conversation that just showed up for Jamal Charlo, he has been nowhere to be. Edgar Berlanga has been campaigning, going to the Canelo fights, going to different fights, talking about making this fight happen. Everybody knows about this fight. Nobody wants to see the Edgar Berlanga fight in real life. But the reality is, yes, Will Bigelow, 100%. That's what I'm saying. We don't know whether he's physically or mentally fit to even fight. Right. Where is he?
Who, Jamal Charlo? He just when he fought Benavidez, he was all right.
You know who you should fight?
That jab was still sharp.
I'm fix it for you right now. You know who you should fight?
Caleb Plant. I know. Caleb Plant. I know.
Bro,
that's the only other person I could see him fighting. You know what I'm saying? Over Canelo. But
you need to go fight him. Mess it up with Andrade, right? Mess it up with him. Then go fight what's name? Benavidez.
No, Andrade lost to Canelo, man. He knocked out of the picture. He gotta build himself back up.
No, bro.
Ain't that what y'all saying? He gotta build himself back up, bro.
He didn't lose to Canelo though. So where'd you get that from?
If you putting it like that, he gotta fight Boo Boo too.
Oh, he lost to Benavidez. He got knocked off.
Okay, that's better. I just want to make sure you correct yourself. Now, again, He needs to go fight him. Then, if he wins those 2 fights, fight Benavidez for that mandatory spot, and he has an open line to Canelo, and then we can't say nothing because that's activity. That's him holding the mandatory spot, and that shows that he's back in boxing.
No, it's history, bro. That's all I gotta say. It's history with them. So,
bro, like, and like another thing, bro. If you're not mentally stable and you fight Canelo and you walk through that motherfucking tunnel, bro, you done before you get in the ring, bro. Like, bro, it's different when you fighting.
You remember Oliver McCall, bro?
Man,
Oliver McCall was mentally unstable, and he used to send people to the underworld, bro.
Yo, are you drinking right now? Like,
no, you remember Oliver McCall? That's why you that's why you face palmed yourself, because you remember, you remember.
I know who he is. He also got his ass knocked out by Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson in the same year.
Clean.
Well, matter of fact, he quit on Mike Tyson.
We ain't saying he the best in the world, but I'm just saying that mentally unstable stuff don't really fly in the ring, bro.
Yeah, okay.
First of all,
I don't know.
The fight period, you got to have some stability in your brain, bro. I'm sorry, no disrespect to the fighters out there.
Yeah, I think it'll fall on deaf ears. If and I mean, just we about to wrap it up soon anyway because we're going about 4 hours. But,
facts.
But Jamal Charlo, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, just doesn't that hunger for that fight isn't there like it was before. They'd have to do a whole lot of selling to make that happen. He hasn't been doing nothing to promote himself as a active fighter. If anything, he's been stripped of his belts. He looks inactive. If you ask me, he looks like somebody who's going to be coming out of retirement to fight Canelo Alvarez. Edgar Berlanga got a whole country behind him. Puerto Rico. That's a one fight for Canelo, and it's also a knockout, almost a guaranteed knockout in that fight.
I'm gone, y'all.
We care about how much these fighters make and all of that stuff. We just want to see the best fights.
That's not one of the best fights, bro.
It's not.
3 years ago, maybe after his, maybe. Yeah.
This man still on that top. It's over with, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's over with, bro.
You out?
Bro. Like that's
we all disagree
anymore.
We all disagree here.
Yeah, throw me in the back, Clay.
Salute to everybody, though, man. I'll catch y'all. When y'all going live again?
Tomorrow night, same bat channel, same bat time, man. I appreciate
you said you was gonna go early sometimes.
Yeah, tomorrow actually I am gonna probably go up early, probably about like 10 o'clock, and probably go up real quick just kind of build in the morning. But this show is gonna be on at night. All right, 9:30 tomorrow night. We're gonna be talking about some other things a little bit, but I appreciate you guys showing up. Hood Rich, 4K. Fly Frequency, freaking Fly, whatever the name is we're using today. My co-host, shout out to everybody in the panel. In the chat room. Salute to you guys showing up here tonight. Rachel Donaire, Bayani Dela Cruz, J Pitt City, Will Bigelow. I'm just Ross Clot for sure. Always in the chat, keeping it alive. But we appreciate you.
Ross Clot, you need to bring your ass up here tomorrow because you had some words for me, and I didn't know what the hell you was talking about. I need you up here tomorrow, sharp.
This is
9 p.m. sharp.
This is a tank corner battle right here.
We going into overtime, Clay.
Goodrich said, "I need you casket sharp. I need you casket."
What you say, Zay?
Hood is like y'all younger brother, but an enforcer.
No, Rasclot about to jump up here. I know Rasclot. He about to jump up.
No, it's over with, man. I'll be on here tomorrow, man. Salute to everybody. Y'all have a good night, man.
All right.
No doubt, brother. No doubt.
Peace. Yeah, because I know Rasclot. He always wants to smoke.
Okay, tomorrow.
All right. Word.
Yo, Ray. There's another one. Get it again.
Right? In the bag. Yo, shout out to Chef Dre Bull.
No doubt, man.
Hit that subscribe button, bro.
Yeah, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you hit the like button. We appreciate all you guys, man.
I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah, I had to elevate. I'm way promise I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself, yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation, now I got rollies, all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement, now the hard work is all taking me places. Water all blood like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with.